Started out with nothing. Now I got a whole lot of something. Breaking through the roof. Willy Wonka when he pressed the button. When I do a money ritual, all of a sudden money started coming. Then I cut the Holy Ghost. I still be rhyming even when I'm mumbling. You repeat my name 3 times. While you staring in the mirror, bottle will appear. Like poof, I came from out of thin air. To me the gun is like a magic wand. I make a problem disappear. I never hated teeth out his mouth. Just to turn him to veneer. I can do magic, I can do magic. 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 When I open up my mouth, I can move masses. Black magic on the beat, turn it to a classic. I'ma take the money out the bank, then I'ma put it in a mattress. Tell me the niggas gotta pick the cut, so I turn it to my own fashion. I'm the original AI. I don't gotta go to practice. I got the answer for all the questions. You don't even gotta ask it. Pop, 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 pop. Heard another rapper got blasted. Shoot, DMT, Molly, X. I'ma mix it all up with the acid. I can do magic, I can do magic. 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 Call me Houdini, the way I remove chains, I make it look too easy. When I can't blow, make the money fall from the sky like it's too cheating, too creepy. When I wanna talk to them, I'm a wizard, I use Ouija. Audio, side partner, take the pipe down, call her Louis. I'm the blue genie. When I do a magic spell, I say hocus pocus, get the cold and smoke, whipping the dope is post. I know who the Holy Ghost, Alakazam. I do magic like Shaq and Kazam, on the magic like Shaq and Orlando. Yo, I come from a magical land, feel like Urban Johnson on the Lakers. I got some talented magical hands. If you pass it to me near the basket, I'll do an immaculate slam. Jam, abracadabra, turn imagination into matter. I be turning odds into cadavers. I'm the Alpha and the Omega. I'm a being a before and after. I'm a magician. I'm the alchemist winning the kitchen. Got a secret recipe I'm mixing. If you witness Jehovah, you stitching. Are you Christian? No, I'm different. I created a whole new religion. I be making accurate predictions. Life is like an episode of Simpsons. I can do magic, I can do magic. 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 I make it look too easy. When I can't blow, make the money fall from the sky like it's too cheating, too creepy. When I wanna talk to them, I'm a wizard, I use Ouija. Audio, side partner, take the pipe down, call her Louis. I'm the blue genie. When I do a magic spell, I say hocus pocus, get the cold and smoke, whipping the dope is post. I know who the Holy Ghost, Alakazam. I do magic like Shaq and Kazam, on the magic like Shaq and Orlando. Yo, I come from a magical land, feel like Urban Johnson on the Lakers. I got some talented magical hands. If you pass it to me near the basket, I'll do an immaculate slam. Jam, abracadabra, turn imagination into matter. I be turning odds into cadavers. I'm the Alpha and the Omega. I'm a being before and after. I'm a magician. I'm the alchemist winning the kitchen. Got a secret recipe I'm mixing. If you witness Jehovah, you stitching. Are you Christian? No, I'm different. I created a whole new religion. I be making accurate predictions. Life is like an episode of Simpsons. I can do magic, I can do magic. 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 I can do magic, I can do magic.
Yo, 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 turn it up, turn it up, turn it up, yo, yo, yo. There you have it, family. There you have it. There you have it. My good brother Cambada I Can Do Magic off of the album that everybody needs to be listening to. If you haven't heard it already, what are you waiting for? Go over to go over to Bandcamp and go get Holy Ghost 3, or go to holyghost3.com and go and get you your album, man. Stop playing. Stop playing. Stop playing games. You know what I'm talking about? You need to go and be on, you know what I mean? You need to catch up and get that you need to go ahead and get that Holy Ghost if you ain't get it already. It is coming to streaming in February. I spoke to Rich today. Brother Rich said that he's gonna be uploading the album for all of the people that be on the streaming platforms. You gotta wait a month. But for the supporters of independent, artists and whatnot who want to control their own fate, so they release their albums and their projects through their own portals. Yeah, salute to all of y'all that support those endeavors, because that's really in all due respect, nothing to take away from the fan that streams and things of that nature, but those fans are what really get an artist riled up. You know what I mean? Like, y'all really make an artist feel appreciated, the ones who are considered the super fans. So shout out to y'all. Listen, y'all, we have a monumental show tonight. I got some legends in the building. We are going to take a trip, not down memory lane. We are going to take a trip through the quantum realms. We are going to go ahead and take a trip through the quantum universe. We are going to talk to three quote unquote mystics, three gods who are quantum entangled, just based off of the path that they're currently on and whatnot. But all roads somehow led to Tucson. And we're going to talk about that tonight. We're going to bring forth my good brother Ras Ben, my good brother Ras Naim, and my good brother Amun Scorpion Rael. Okay? So we have a monumental show ahead of y'all coming up. All I want to do is a little bit of roll call, because I want to see who's in the building. You know what I mean? I can't wait till we doing roll call on Roku. That's going to be good. But in the meantime, between time, we right here. Shout out to everybody on the YouTube channel. This is not the backup channel. This is the channel. The backup became the main channel. How about that? This is the channel Know the Ledger. Okay. Know the Ledger is the channel. I want everybody to subscribe to the channel. We definitely want to run those numbers up and get the family back on the platform. This platform will host Melanin Mondays. It will host Third Eye Thursdays, and it will also host other weekly shows that will be rolling out for 2024. Just stay tuned. Okay. But the people said that they needed me back on the tube. So one of the things that I have to do is I have to listen to the people. I can't be so bullheaded and leave people high and dry, because it's a drought outside. It's really a drought on YouTube. So we back. Shout out to everybody who all of my Patreons. Shout out to all of the people who keep the lights on. Shout out to all of the supporters. Shout out to everybody who shows us the appreciation that they have for the work that we do by being members. Ultimately, I am back on YouTube to bring y'all into the membership. You know what I mean? Take you up off of this plantation and bring you into Zion. So the Patreon is Zion. Okay. Shout out to everybody rocking with Neo out there in Zion. So that's the Patreon right there, /Red Pillar. And that is one of the sponsors for tonight's program. We have another sponsor for tonight's program that I want to share with the family. All right. Briefly, let me give it to you. Okay. Check it out.
Healthy so you can get wealthy with True Health Love. We got everything that you need in terms of getting your body right for the fall, for the summer, just everyday wellness. We got herbal products. We got Sabi-inspired meal preps. We got juice preps. And we also have our soul food takeout spot in Southern California. That's right. Alkaline Soul Food in Southern California. Come on down. It's nutritious and delicious. Get healthy so you can get wealthy. TrueHealthLove.com. Peace.
All right, we got coming up on Monday, y'all. On Monday, Melanin Mondays IRL. Blue Pillar, Mr. Law of 44 himself, Blue Pillar, all right, will be the featured guest on Melanin Mondays. This brother has an upcoming lecture. He has an upcoming lecture in Brooklyn with Black Dot entitled Black Myth Story Month, all right? So Blue Pillar will be doing the preliminaries this Monday in Atlanta, all right, in the West End. Please make sure y'all are in the building. Even if you are not there in the physical bodies, you need to be there online so you can feel that energy. Blue is going to do a visual presentation, and I will be interviewing him for Melanin Monday IRL podcast. As you know, we do it every 2 weeks. The format is a little bit different from what I'm doing right now. On Melanin Monday podcast, we sometimes have a guest and we're interviewing them. We change the format just a little bit slightly. So it has a format of interviewing. So the IRL podcast is in front of a studio audience. It also doubles as a networking and a mixer. All right. I'm going to show you some pictures from last, quote unquote, the last one that we just did. And that was with Brother Rich. All right. So for everybody that came out to that one, I just want to say thank you. Keep on coming back, spread the word. You feel me? Because this is definitely going to be, we're going to every other week is going to be even better. Okay, it's even going to get bigger the further we go down the as we go down the timeline. Okay, just a quick little recap. Here's some pictures from the event. All right, we had the vendors in the building popping out, looking strong and whatnot. We had the queens, the goddesses was there. You feel me? I was on stage giving the owner, the good brother Julius, his flowers and whatnot. We had the vendors on stage rocking with us. You know, it was a movie, y'all. It was a movie. You know what I'm talking about? It was definitely a movie. You know what I mean? So we're gonna carry on tradition and keep that ball rolling. And we'll put a movie on this Monday with Blue Pill. And then right after that, he'll be in Brooklyn with Black Dot. You know what I mean? He'll be in Brooklyn with Black Dot on Saturday, February the 3rd, I believe. Yes, the 3rd. He'll be at Nicholas Bookstore in Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn. Him and Black Dot. We will be doing something on his channel before that to give you a little preliminary, maybe Sacrilegious Sundays or Saturday Night Live with Blue, so he could cook up a little bit. But yeah, he's coming on Melanin Monday. Please, if you know anything, you're going to be in the building. Don't sleep on him. And then we have this. Okay. We are going to be in Arizona, all right, with the family. I need y'all to be there for this. This is going to be monumental. Okay. Ras Naeem, Ras Ben, and my good brother Amun Ra. Okay. We are all going to be in Arizona, Tucson, Arizona. All right. Doing what we do. Check this out. Here's a commercial real quick before I bring everybody on. Peace, family. Peace to you and yours, brother Richfield, reporting live and direct. Yes, we are in snowbird mode, all right? It is time to leave the Arctic cold and go west, okay? So February 1st to the 6th, meet us in Tucson, Arizona. Seating is limited, okay? We will be joined by Ras Ben. We will be joined by our good brother Amun. Brother Red and Blue will be in the building, and many more guests. This is going to be something that you cannot miss. The International Chim and Stone Show. Vendors going to be on deck. There's going to be all type of things, I promise you. Make sure that you tap in. The link is right there. See you in AZ. All right. Yes, 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 yes. So, without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I want to bring on the guests that we have for the evening. Without any further ado, let us open up the stage for our good brother. Y'all know this good brother. This is KTL alumni. He really needs no introduction, but we have some first time listeners, so I have to be courteous. All right, ladies and gentlemen, from Mystic Philly, all the way from the Star Nation, we present to you our good brother, Ross Ben in the building.
There he
Bria.
is. There he is. What up,
That's
Star?
right. That's right. That's right. What up, Star? Bria. Wagwan.
Thankful, man. You know, living life slow but steady,
That's right.
heal-
Copacetic.
healing and growing. You know,
All day, like Ron Ray. You know what I mean?
True.
Whenever I see you, you know what I mean? It just lights the day up. You know what I'm saying?
Uh,
I get a little
uh,
more, I get optimistic about things. You
right.
feel
Oh,
me?
give thanks.
Always good to see you, Ross. You feel me? Always good to see you in the building.
Yes, sir.
I'm very excited about what we're gonna go through today.
Thank
Been doing some of my research on Tucson
you.
and the history of those treasures that have been found out there and whatnot. It has really piqued my interest, and it just makes me feel like the feeling that I was getting out there was warranted.
Yeah, it was ancestral.
It was warranted. Now
Yeah.
I know where it comes from.
Shout
So
out.
let me.
Oh,
Mhm.
I was just gonna say shout out to that brother Karamiyu How.
Yes, Karamiu, he is doing wonderful, monumental work.
Woo.
The presentation, the delivery, the production, the research, the community that he's building.
Yeah.
I am a
He did drop the just to seal that thought, and I'll let you flow. He dropped
yeah.
he dropped the revelation on the community how Tucson, what is today Tucson, Arizona, it was an ancient, it was part of an ancient trade network from long time. You know,
Mm-hmm.
uh, we under many names, Moors, Jews, Radonites,
Right.
all these different.
Many different names.
But we've been walking through them regions trading in gold, silver, copper, and precious stones from ancient time. So then
All day.
when we go out there and do it today, there is an extra spirit we feel.
Mm-hmm.
We was just moving with it. But then
But yeah, because it's
now we know what it is.
right. You stepping into your proper persona in a sense. You know what I mean? Like you walking that path that your ancestors have walked.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah. That's why things be opening up like that when you on that path and you come to find out what. And then when Blue dropped on me the science that what we know as Las Vegas used to be an ocean,
Mm,
and one of the reasons why Las Vegas is such a magnet to treasures and whatnot is because at the bottom of all oceans is your treasures. You
true,
know
true.
that the bottom is where the riches settle. You know.
But there's definitely a lot of magic with Tucson, even how, if you want to just bring it up to these times, right? If you stu-
Somebody saying, I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut your wisdom. Somebody saying Tucson, like,
All right, I guess Red dropped out. I'm gonna just finish my thought until the brethren come forward. Where if you study when Arizona as a state was incorporated, it's an Aquarius. It's an Aquarian state. It was born or incorporated when the sun was in Aquarius, right?
yes, yes,
And then Tucson as a city was incorporated under Aquarius too, right?
Mm.
So then in this Aquarian season, because the Tucson gym shows always the first 2 strongs of February. So
Yes,
we're in
yes.
the heart of that Aquarian season in an Aquarian state, Aquarian city, in the Aquarian season, this
Woo.
amazing event be popping off, you know?
Magical event, man. Magical event. Look, I don't want to. We got guests in the building. I want to bring the whole gang on the stage, man. I want y'all to form Voltron. It
Yeah.
ain't even right now. You feel me?
Let me set the stage for them, because
Please do.
when you said, yo, RAS, let's build on Tucson, I was like, the reality is, brethren, if I'm gonna do this thing proper, right? Because
Yes, yes,
I have been building with Tucson this gym show for over 20 years, right? But if I'm gonna tell that 20-year story proper, 2 other brethren gotta be on there blocking their sound too. Because one, I because right, when I dropped the first Rocks of Ages, which came
yes.
in 2000, right? One of the first brethren who got a copy and was like, yo, we got to build on this. This ain't just something for me to read and be still. Now I'm
Right.
going to build with,
You got to build the pyramids on top of that. That's the foundation.
right. I was Ras Naeem, an infinite treasure, right?
Legend. Yes.
And so the brethren was on me like, yo, Ras, if you really want to be a big man in this thing, want to really do
Mhm.
this thing proper, we got to go to Tucson. I ain't know nothing about no Tucson gym show.
Mhm.
And so, but you got to catch it in February. So he blocked that sound. We missed 1 February. Then he was on me the whole next year, like, yo, he was insistent. We
Did
go
y'all pull up?
and yo, it opened up portals like we never know. But then same time,
Yes.
I'm building with Amun Mirage. And students, my build with him started with students of his, the Solar Ray Collective here in Philly, right?
Mm.
So when I came back from Tucson, all jeweled up, like,
Right.
pounds and pounds of crystals, right? It lined up where, because to be honest, Mirage is such a legend. I had seen his craft, because I met people rocking his craft, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And I was building with his students who were like teaching me, right? The Solar Ray Collective teaching me their angle of the craft long before I even met Amun in person.
Right.
So finally, when we did link, and again, this is early 2000s, I was like, yo, brethren, you got to come to Tucson.
Right.
And he did. He came, because the thing with Naeem, all right, I have 7 youth, right? 6 still on the planet. But
Yes.
7 youth.
Salute.
Ras Naeem got 8.
Mm.
And committed Babahood, committed to his Babahood.
Bobblehead for real.
He didn't make it forward to Tucson after we went that first time.
Right.
Naeem didn't come forward to like another 20 years to that crypto convergence we all met out at. That was Naeem's next time out there. But
Damn.
but
So
who?
he did.
Oh, go ahead.
He planted that seed initially.
He planted the seed initially, but
Right.
then, you know, how we've built in strength over the decades, because if I was there, he was there too, you know.
That's right. You
I
represent
would
him.
add to the infinite treasures while he at home building the next generation, you know.
Right.
But who was out there with me every year from when that thing opened and building and learning and just, you know, helping me even master. Because, you know,
Right.
that gym show, come on, man. You know what it is. That thing is massive.
Big, big, big.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that was Amun Mirage. You know, me and
Yes.
him been to at least a dozen shows together. And
Right.
to be honest, I think Mirage probably been to more shows
Then you.
because there were some years I didn't make it out there.
Mm.
I'd have to hear forward from Mirage what was the new hotness out, what I miss, you know?
Right. So that was your eyes and your ears on the ground, the same way that you was Ras Naeem's eyes and the ears.
Exactly.
So you see how this thing works, though. You see how, this is how committees are formed. This is how brotherhoods are strengthened. This is how teams, right? Winning teams. This is how teams win.
Exactly. So
So
I just wanted to set the stage for you, bring them on because
that's beautiful that I did that. And I want to add on that it's beautiful that we doing what we're doing tonight. And it's very majestic of you to do what you just did, because I'm gonna share something with you about what I've witnessed, what I've went through personally, and what I'm witnessing. I've seen great men and women fall out, right, with each other because one amongst them is doing great things and they don't mention the names of the others, right? When they're telling their story or when they're in a spotlight and they're shining for their accolades of what people see them and notice them for, I've seen people fall out with day ones, with family members, with loved ones, with siblings and whatnot, because they don't mention these people names in rooms when
uh,
they're not there,
uh,
right?
uh,
To add social credit to their name, because who you are, what are they? You know how they have notary republics?
right.
You're the equivalent to what is a notary republic, and you're also a kingmaker, right? You give a cosign and a stamp to a person's name, and people see that person a little bit different because
Well,
of just your. Mhm.
what I would say, uh, my place in the mineral kingdom community that has grown,
Right.
evolved, what you say, as a part of the conscious community.
Mhm.
I was fortunate enough to be gifted in that astrology science enough
Yes.
where I released the original Rocks of Ages, May 5th, 2000, which was, you know how we just experienced the great conjunction of 2020, the
Yes, I remember.
Jupiter Saturn conjunction, that we all just
Mhm.
experienced that, right?
Yep.
Well, the original Rocks of Ages was released on the 20-year great conjunction, the one right prior to that.
For that. Oh, okay.
Right? Jupiter and Saturn, when they come together in conjunct, that makes the
Right.
great conjunction. That's equivalent to like a Mayan cartoon, 20-year
Right.
DNA upgrades. You know, if you
Mm.
look at it from the Mayan perspective, that's what they say the cartoons
The
are.
cartoons are right, right, and they most definitely are that.
So that's how we look at the Jupiter Saturn great conjunctions. And
Right.
I timed the release of the first rocks of ages at that great conjunction of 2000, right?
Mm.
And so it rode that 20-year wave.
It definitely did.
It rode that, like I caught that
You
wave, you
caught
know,
the wave, right? You
caught
put
the
that thing
wave
right in that stream, and
and
then that fish, right?
and we see where we are 20 years later.
Them
You
fish
know,
grew into whales, Ross.
that's what we talking now.
Them fish
So
grew into whales, Ross.
yeah. So when you say like when again, I'm trying to give context to this story because you're right. The way this thing rolled out, it wouldn't have happened without Naeem and Amun Mirage, So
For every great master teacher that's out there that can hear me, that's listening to me, I need y'all to bring y'all team and those that are great around you. Bring them, bring them to the forefront more. Every individual should be responsible for shining a light on the great ones that are around you who don't really be in the light like that, or people may not have been introduced to because they're in a whole nother lane doing their magic somewhere else on this planet. I think that's very important, you
and
know.
and just to make it very relevant, even for this reasoning, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because the Mirage Amun, he can do what I can't. Because
Mm-hmm.
I used like this tour that y'all are lining up. I was
Yes.
doing that in the earlies. I was bringing collectives out there to put them on to Tucson. Amun actually came to the first. He'd been to a couple of the ones, right?
Right, right.
How he first came out. He brought the solar ray, his students. He brought his whole team. He brought his family. He had his child out there. It was, beautiful, right?
That's
I'm
dope.
gonna tell you, herding cats ain't easy, Brethren.
You
You know,
said doing what?
herding cat
Cats ain't
ain't easy.
easy. That's a shirt. And that's yeah, I like
You know,
that.
so
Mm-hmm.
when you have 10 and 12 different characters, and we all are like cats.
That's right.
I'm talking about our nation in specific, right?
Right, right.
When you study a cat, him have his own way.
They jump through portals, they quantum.
Well, him just had their own way. Like
Mm-hmm.
if you say, hey, herd, hey, collective, hey, group of ants, you tell an ant, move in oneness,
Right. They're gonna
come
form vote. Right.
ant
The
can move
whole group.
in oneness.
Right.
You tell zebras, yo, zebras,
Right.
move
Go that
in
away.
Think you heard certain birds that flock. Like, yo, we going this way.
That's facts.
Cats, come on, man. You say, hey, cats, let's go this way. Cats is gonna do what them gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not, I can't herd cats. It takes a special person.
Right.
It takes a special one guided with a certain totem. My totem animal is the turtle, Regin.
That's how you moving.
That's
That's
how I
right.
move. That's how I move,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. That's a
Yeah.
fact.
I'm gonna say,
Turtle won the race.
hey, turtle say go this way, you don't go. Turtle just I'm gonna take my time, but I'm
Right.
gonna go where it is. And when I get there, either you gonna be there or not.
Right, right. I'm giving you time to catch up, but I'm still going that way.
But our moon has so there is one cat that can herd other cats.
Mm,
That's the lion.
that's right.
The lion
Well,
can herd a pride.
that's
Get a
right.
collective to be like, yo, I'm going this way. And even though I'm Rasta, you know, I'm more on that mystic tip, not on the fire lion of Judah, meaning I don't have that I ain't gonna roar.
Right,
I,
right,
I ain't gonna roar in such a way to get cats
right,
to
right.
listen.
Exactly. To listen. Right, right.
But Amun Mirage has that gift plus the experience of Tucson. And so he is for about the past 4 and 5 years, his retreat slash, gym show tours, they've been off the chain. They've
Yes,
been
yes.
off
They
the
are.
chain because, right, using the same analogy, when the lion pride moves in oneness, it's a strong vibe with that. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
That
yes.
team, spirit moving in oneness. Yeah, that's how these retreats have been, where, you know, ain't been no random cats doing random shit, fucking it up for everyone,
Mm-hmm.
throwing the vibe off,
Right,
everyone making sure everyone eats, making
right,
sure everyone gets their bathroom time. They move, it's like the pride moves in oneness. So then, and Amun builds in, because the thing with Tucson, right, it's in the desert. And so you can't go out there and and especially, I know Amun builds on this a lot, and he will when you bring him on.
okay.
If we in the Northeast, which I know a lot of us are, I know you in Atlanta now, but I know Atlanta's geomancy. So
Right. But
it's
look, Atlanta been colder than New York
uh,
recently.
uh.
It's different.
I ain't even talking about weather. I'm talking about frequency, vibration.
Frequencies. Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm talking about atmospheric density as
Right,
it relates to your prayers and your meditation and
right. The ionosphere.
things, all of that. Because if you in filthy Delphia like myself, right?
Yeah,
And I could be saying the most heartfelt prayers and this, that, and the other, right? But for them prayers to get to the second, third, through seventh heaven, they got
mm-hmm.
so much shit, so much
Right, right. It's a lot of shit. Right.
lot of sludge in the
A lot of
I
firmament in the firmament. Yeah.
right?
Yep.
But
That's a
when
fact.
but in the desert out there ain't nothing. It like how the air don't even hold humidity.
Mm-hmm.
There ain't nothing like there ain't no static.
Right,
No, when whatever you thinking, whatever your intention is,
right,
you're gonna get automatic feedback.
right, right there.
So that's why it's important what I've learned over the years, because I've seen some wild shit at the gym show. Talk about wild instant karma type shit.
Right.
Like, so a big part of making sure the gym show is the amazing experience. You gotta do your spirit work too. You gotta get out in them elements. Cause
Yes.
see, the other thing with the sludgy environment, it's got everything got its pros and cons, right?
Right.
because it creates lag time between your thoughts, which may or may not, more often than not, be random, chaotic, and on some like you see a fat ass.
Distraction.
Your mind, right? But because we in the sludge, we don't get the immediate feedback from the omniverse, right? When you out in that desert realm, you got to be more mindful of every thought, because the feedback is almost instantaneous, synchronistic, like, blam,
Right.
So, but in saying that, right, when you go out in the desert in a collective, all on that lion pride frequency, and get in your spirit work, and then go to the gym show, it's pure magic, man.
Straight magic.
Score.
Look, without any further ado, family, I bring to you our good brother, our moon, a scorpion, peace to the God. I can't hear you.
What's up, brothers? Can y'all hear me?
Yes, loud and clear,
Yes,
loud and clear.
peace to everybody zooming in on the stream and stuff like that. Big ups to my brother Rich Phil, my brother Ross Ben, and my brother Ross Naeem, soon to come, man. Thank you for all the positive things said, man. I'm living the mission and doing what the soul says to do while I'm here in the body, man. That's what it's about, man.
Beautiful, beautiful. Look, we got to open up the floor and bring our good brother Ras Naeem
Yes,
on. So I need you to do for Ras Naeem what he just did for you, my good brother. Set the
man.
stage.
Okay, where do I start with Ross Naeem? I can only continue where Ross Ben left off, So my initiation into all this, every aspect of being a elemental alchemistic earth keeper, and all of the amazing titles that come along with awakening. I don't want to say woke, but awakening into the power of who we are as indigenous children of the sun, melanite, universal beings. Um, Awakening into Rastafari and knowing myself as Ras, very important part in my graduation from manhood to godhood, especially in the strength of being a natural mystic and having brothers like Ross Ben and Ross Tree out in St. Louis, and Baba Kenamin and my brother Ross Ajene, like just a lots of Ross brethren that been with me through this path. I've been able to meet more. And Ross Naeem is one whose name was echoing with me for cycles and cycles and cycles as a creator, and just other brothers and sisters who I knew from Philly and DC and up and down the East Coast. But me and Ras Naeem, it took years for us to meet. It took a long time for us to meet in the flesh. When we finally met, it was like, hey, like, man, like, it's good to meet you,
Right.
What Ross Ben was just saying about herding cats, I draw strong with that, because one of my totems is the tiger. Right. So more so than a lion, I identify as a tiger.
Right.
But there's a quality of knowing the way and sensing the future that any person that honors wisdom. Bob Marley has a powerful saying, and that saying is, "Who feels it knows it." And I'm one who feels it. So I can only hope that cats get it, because though I'm a good explainer, if people are acting ignorant, I don't spend a lot of time explaining a whole bunch to people who even give me the slightest sense that they're not paying attention on purpose. But when it comes to people who know the direction they want to go in life, That's a powerful thing. And so connecting with brothers like Ras Naeem, I think Ras Naeem is the lion. You know, he's the one, I think, out of me, Ras Ben, and Ras Naeem, Ras Naeem is the most likely to roar.
Right.
He's the most likely to roar. And with good reason. Because when I see Infinite Treasures and our brother Ras Naeem, I see a brethren who is very, very awakened, driven, and devoted, high conviction. And you know, through all the cycles, and you know, coming from New York and Philly and DC and anywhere you come from, you know, there's a bunch of conscious Cosbys running around. People that got names and titles and clothes, but they ain't really standing on it. They ain't really bout it. One thing about Ras Naeem is bout it. So it's my honor as one of the brothers in this meeting tonight to say, hey, come on through the mighty lion and good brother of Infinite Treasures, Ras Naeem.
Yeah, and if I could say, to add a word, like, who is Ras Naeem?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So I done seen a lot. I done met a lot of wire rappers in my journey. Amun being the next one, right? But there's one wire rapper that, in my mind, in my humble opinion, right, him just stand out as you know, the master of that craft. Because at this time, right? Because of one important dimension to his work, and that's his use of the alchemical keys. Right? This brethren, he has internalized like the rocks of ages. Where we go, because what ultimately is our relationship to the crystals? It's the elements.
It's the elements. Real quick, brother Ras Naeem, connect your microphone and your camera so I could bring you on the stage, please.
Yeah. So who studies this thing element by element and has studied we through the melanin crystal synergy lens of rocks and ages, and alchemically built his wire wrapping technique, and then using the principles of Ma'at, balance, symmetry, proportion, ratio, beauty, as a part of his technique. Yeah, I ain't seen no one else bring it all together like that. You know?
That. Wow, look at that.
So that's who Ras Naeem is. I had to block that sound, you know?
That's right. So without any further ado, family, I want to introduce you to the lion himself, the one who is the owner and proprietor of Infinite Treasures. All right. Metallurgist and a craftsman, one of the best in the craft. None other than our good brother, Ras Naeem. Yes, indeed. Peace. Peace to the God.
What a holy high honor to be a lion amongst lions. You know, what a holy high honor. We don't take it for granted. Big up, Red Pill for offering us this opportunity. You know,
Indeed.
Yeah, big up Amun Ra, brethren.
What up, God? Respect. Easy.
You be steady upon the good works, man. Hey, man, give a brother a break. Cats trying to keep up with you, man. Yo, you covering the whole earth, man, with your works and your techniques. Steady upon your good works, my brethren.
Rastafari, every time.
Ras Ben, you know what it is. Big brother, like none other. Yo, man, it don't stop. It won't stop. Right. Ras Ben It don't stop. It won't stop until what? Righteousness covers this earth as the waters cover the seas.
That's right.
Yeah, it won't stop.
So, you know, I have the privilege of many others who have streaming platform subscriptions. And, you know, we get to watch these fantasy TV shows of different people having fun in life, you know, groups of people going through life, living out their hero's journey. And I usually find myself, you know, watching these shows. And in the back of my mind, I always say to myself, you know, these scripts and these characters and these shows are cool and everything, but God damn it, if the people that I know had a show, or if the people who watch these shows saw the life of the people who I be around, ah man, if shows like this are number one, and if shows like this are considered to be great shows, man, then I know I got some blockbusters around me. So
Game changer.
something happened in the year 2021, I believe. Well, you know,
2022.
yes,
2022.
it was 2022.
It was 22, yeah.
And the event was on 2/2/22, right?
Yeah.
And that was the Crystal Convergence. It was a bill, a very heavy bill that some of the names on the bill were Lizzie Jeff, Red Pill, Blue Pill, Source Guard, Ras Ben, Ras Naim,
Illuminati
uh,
Congo.
Illuminati Congo,
MC by Amon Ra.
MC by Amun Ra,
Scorpius
Chris
Ray all
Dyer,
day.
DJ by Black Light.
DJ Blacklight. Yeah, yeah.
DJ by Black Light, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I got to witness, right? There wasn't no TV cameras, Netflix approved cameras were not there. We were not wired up and whatnot, and there wasn't producers in the building. But once again, in the span of a few days, I got to witness what would have been one of the greatest seasons on television, right?
And Red, this was the
Yes.
brainchild of our good brother, the one they call Ankara, Akiru.
Ankara.
Ankara had
Look,
the vision of this thing in December. And I tried to discourage him. Like me and Ankara go back almost 20 years.
right.
I'm like, you trying to pull this off in less than 2 months? He was like, "Oh, Ross, if we don't do it now, it's not gonna get done, or somebody else gonna slip into the slot."
You feel
But
me?
yeah, we have to put him out there, man. He's the one that saw the vision, because I didn't know the pills. I didn't, I
That's
hadn't
right.
met a boom. He set all that up for us to converge. The
That's right.
crypto convergence.
Crypto convergence.
2022, February
And
2nd. Yeah.
February 2nd. And for the sake of documenting the story correctly, because I'm very big on that. In the day and the time of AI, in the day and the time where you literally could take people out of a picture and erase them and put yourself right in the picture, in the day and the time of Midjourney version 6, where you could prompt photorealistic pictures and images, so you really will never know what is real moving forward from this year on. It will be almost impossible to prove. If a person was like, yeah, that was me back in 1963, I'm right there at the table with homie and Woolworth,
Right.
then if people believe it, then that's what they're gonna say it. People are gonna literally create the realities that they always wanted to exist in, and then they're gonna push the envelope and just really take this shit into a place where man is gonna be living out on earth like God for real. That's his ultimate quest. And he has the budget. He's maniacal enough. He's he's determined. This is mankind that I'm speaking of, to make things like that happen. But I say all of that to say there is a story about Tucson. that hopefully could be turned into entertainment and education maybe one of these days, or maybe even, you know, for educational purposes, a documentary or docu-series. But I wanted to bring you three brothers along because when we go to Tucson in a few, what, like in a week or two,
Mm-hmm.
this union and whoever joins us in this journey that we're going to embark upon and this experience, I wanted to add context to this experience. I wanted to add history, not his story, but mystery, right? I wanted to add, you know, a whole operating system to it, you know, because it's always the story that makes, you know, everything worth it. You feel me? They make billions of dollars in Hollywood just by telling the same story over and over again. And that's the hero journey, and that's the Arthurian myth, along with a few other narratives. But here we have this narrative where this is the hero's journey and this is the Arthurian myth. All right. Everybody has a story to tell, but I want you three brothers to get into this story about Tucson and how this journey to Tucson brought you to this similar and familiar ending point, but how each one of your lives went into totally different directions.
Hey,
And to keep in mind, and this will be the short version tonight,
Right.
but we'll get into we'll unpack it more.
so if I could take the lead, Ross
Yes.
Ben, you and I had a conversation earlier today. What they talk about history, mystery, and prophecy, and we can't deal with history, mystery, and or prophecy without the vital thing called ancestry,
Mm,
and how and when we, in the space and the time that we're in, make it our business to do what? Make that link. 7 generations. I don't know how many of y'all are up on the brother named Patrice Maladoma Somé, but
Yeah.
Patrice spoke of the what happens whenever you got a 7 generational link. When we are in a cognizant space to be able to recount and to reflect and to recite the names of 7 generations before us, we tap into a different space-time reality, you know? And me and
mm,
Ross was talking about this today, man. It dawned upon me. I'm not going to go into the depths of the dream, but every 100 years qualifies about 5 generations. If you figure by the time an individual gets 20 years of age, they can make a baby. They can make babies when they're 14, but
that's right.
typically about a responsible age, folks fall in love, folks get, when the things get bubbling up, it's about 20 to 30 years. You can count every generation. So in 100 year span, on average, you can get about 5 generations, right? And in my studies as a young man, I remember penetrating of water and the spirit, Patrice Maladoma Somé, and he made mention about that connection, how important it is to maintain that 7 generational link.
Mm,
If and when we are in position to make sure that the names, the life, and the works of our generations that precede us, we can at least reach back about 7 generations,
right.
the whole illusion of space and time, because space and time are relative. Amun Ra, if you're not on the earth, how can you tell me what time it is?
Mm,
Earth's time is relevant to being on earth.
Uh-huh.
But if we're under the influence of Sirius B, if Sirius B is dictating the movement of not only our Earth, but the sun and Pluto and all them other bodies, then our Earth time experience is relative to us being on Earth. That means that the whole time scheme is relative, right? Sirius B is controlling all of this in this realm, in this quadrant of the cosmos. So space and time is certainly a relative cognition. And as it pertains to ancestries, once we make it our business to go hard in the paint and make sure that my great-grandmother, my great-great-grandmother, my great-great-great-grandmother, my great-great-great-great-grandmother, once we got that great-great-great-great-great 5 times great, we're tapping into a 7 generational dimensional time loop where space and time don't have the same kind of control as it would presume on most of us who don't even know our great grandmother. What I say is that in the mid 1800s, there was a big campaign pushed to do what? Eradicate our ability to look beyond a certain realm.
Right.
Whether it was the Indian Removal Act, whether it was the techniques that these cats use on the census. If you didn't take that march west of the Mississippi, now if you want to work east of the Mississippi, you got to denounce any kind of indigenous heritage.
Right.
This was not a random campaign. You know, this was very intentional because they studied us long and hard. And in their study, they recognize our technology, the ancestral technology.
Right.
That if these cats can still maintain a 7 generational link, there ain't no way we can bond them. We ain't no way we can bind them into doing our bidding on some whatever. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So this revelation dawned on me today. That's when this thing is so fresh and so new, Red. Like I'm a champion of my ancestors. I've been about this for more than half my life. You know, I know all the names that I could squeeze out of my elders. I got them and I recite them daily. I got them memorized. And they hit me and they hit me. I was sharing with my brothers. My brother Yusef. You know my brother Yusef?
Your brother, yeah. Shout out to you.
I was sharing with my brothers, yeah, like, yo, you know, I married into royalty. My wife, Mama Carla, her folks, her grandfather, yo, he was the corner man of the heavyweight champion of the world, Sonny Liston. Yeah, Mama Carla, her folks, man, she come from a long line of fighters, man.
Right.
And they would not let her grandfather, like Sonny Liston, right? Muhammad Ali took his belt. But before Muhammad Ali, when Muhammad Ali was a little dude, Joe Louis was the dude.
He was that guy, right?
My wife's grandfather, his name is Wildcat Reddish. Do your research. I'm not making these things up. Right? He beat the brakes off of Jersey Joe Wilcox. You can find that fight for yourself online.
Right.
Wildcat Reddish beat the brakes off of Jersey Joe Wilcox. Jersey Joe Wilcox was second in the world. Number 1 in the world was Joe Louis. And they would not set up that fight. They wouldn't set up the fight for William Reddish the first, Wildcat Reddish, to fight Joe Louis, because Joe Louis was the people's champ.
Right.
You know? So it was in the midst of these things. I'm just saying, sharing these things with my brother, man, a whole lot of things start revealing themselves on an ancestral realm when I was in my resting space. Like, yo, that 7 generational mark is critical. It's critical. It's critical for us to, if we haven't done the work, dig deep into that work so that we can make that link, you know? Because as far as I can go back, man, I got the names of my great-great-great-grands. And when we do the math, if we're doing the math every 100 years, it's 5 generations.
Right.
You know, I can go back about 5 generations. That put me in the mid 1800s, but that put me in mine. That put us and ours at generation number 6.
Mm-hmm.
Amun, I know you're doing your math, bro. That
I
put
am.
us at generation number 6. That means our children are generation number 7. Right?
Mm.
And as
Right.
much as I'm doing this work and I'm calling these names, my children ain't calling the names yet. They still young people. They ain't, you know, they ain't qualifying, they ain't quantifying this technology just yet. Right? But
Key word.
what I say to us who are doing the quantitative deduction, we breached that 7 generational gap. And Ross Ben, he come from this line called the Webbs, man. His folks were active. His father, his great, 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 I don't know how many greats, was active in the American Revolution.
Mm.
This ninja. Yeah. So if you wonder why Ross Ben moved how he moved, because he got
It's
that
all
7 generational
ancestral.
connect.
It's all ancestral.
And he
You
got that
mentioned the
7
word.
generational connect, bro. He done tapped into.
The farthest I could go back in my ancestry is to Isaac Webb, who is identified historically as a black loyalist.
Mm.
So he was loyal to the king of England.
Yes. Who
And
makes you a brother?
he from out of South Carolina. And he migrated up to Nova Scotia and established a community up there. And 2 pieces of land are still known by his name, Isaac's Cove and Webb's Harbor, which
Come
is
on, man.
because the thing was not only it was his humanity and his graciousness, he connected with the Micmacs.
Mm-hmm.
Many of his children and grandchildren married into Micmac.
Right.
So I even got Micmac in my bloodline through this thing too, right? And he was so gracious in his humanity. He connected with the Micmacs and all what you would call like the wash ashores. Anybody that got washed up like you on a ship, navigating them waters and foul weather wash you ashore.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he was known as someone who provided sanctuary and refuge. You know, so
Yeah.
that's the founder of my ancestries in them 1780s. So I even followed up on that after we reasoned Naeem. He is my 6th. I guess I make the 7th.
Mm-hmm.
Boom,
He is
boom,
6, you know. So
boom, boom. This is what we're saying, that there is real interdimensional technology. Basically what I'm suggesting is time travel. When we have those,
yo, I meditated on it. You're not time traveling. What are you doing? Timeline merging.
come on, man.
Timeline. Right.
Come on, Ross.
On the timeline that you want. Because when you say time travel, you automatically imagine a machine and
Right. But right now
that
with
is where it's
Instagram
at.
with the scroll, right? It's timeline. It's about the
timeline
timeline.
merging. Go ahead, Gretchen.
Nah, bro, you right on time, man. I'm about to yield the mic, but what I'm saying is to bring the point forward is that what we're doing out here in Tucson is bigger than us, and what we're doing is we're incorporating those things older than our ancestries. These things that take millennium to form within the earth, they take millions of years to form within the earth. And we're just obedient students. We understand how we can bring them in. It's like amplification resources to help us to bridge this gap, because we are the generations that are We have to navigate the post-Ma'afa reality. All of our generations have had to deal with this experiment called America, you know? And that's what we say in the mid 1800s, these cats went in hard on what? The amnesia protocol. As long as they can't remember, then they can't tap into the 7th generation technology. As long as we can keep these cats confused, deaf, dumb, and blind, then they can never tap into that black magic.
Mm.
And so what I say, my brethren and my sistren, is that get on about your business while the elders are still here. Get as much information as you can from them so you can have a solid line of continuity. And if the stories you don't know, at least you got some names so you can do the RAS search to tap in, because we can't do this by ourselves. You know, we need the battalions of all those generations that haven't got their due process. We need the battalions of all those generations that Babylon done them wrong, man. They got an ill deal, you know? And Babylon just presumed that I and I don't even care about them. We so worried about the loot, we so worried about the trinkets and the trifles of Babylon that we won't take time to recount the steps of our foremothers and forefathers. And if nothing else you know about Rasta Man, I'm pretty nice with my stones and my gems and all them things, but you can't even come to me talking about that until you know my ancestors, they ride with me. I got a holy host of some champions that ride with me, folks I never met. And the only way I'm in the position right now to be on this call tonight is because it ain't about me. It's about I am because we are. Yeah, first and foremost.
Yeah. Y'all are really awakening degrees to this conversation that could take me in a lot of places. Red, originally you spoke about what led us to Tucson and insights to Tucson, and I'm big on the conversation of how things come from the unseen. My namesake being Amun, how things emerge from the unseen into the light, and understanding the graduation of the subtle realm to the sonic realm to the realm of light, the as above, so below, and the below and above sciences that are the sciences of life. When we see the word Tucson off top, you can easily interpret the words two suns, right? I don't think there's any coincidence that since we began this work, in particular, the ones who are in this conversation, that people have began a vivid conversation about seeing two suns, right? For those who dealt and deal with a lot of the teachings of Dr. York that deal with the galaxy of Ilion, which was which is a 3-sun solar system with 19 planets and 38 moons. They talk about a planet called Risk, which is which is a twin planet in another galaxy to the Earth. And
talk about it.
Later on, people began to get into the observations that at some point in time, either Jupiter will be a sun or Saturn was a sun. However you want to deal with that, depending on your relationship with chronology and how you're building a metaphysical memory from this. But going back to the word Tucson as two suns, if we don't take it into some universal cosmological conversation, just consider the fact that one sun is already inside of you, your solar plexus, and the other sun is the one that you see in the sky. And our relationship and graduation to our higher self,
You've used it more than I ever used it.
our relationship and our graduation to our higher self is the relationship between two suns. Somebody's mic is on. That work, that remembrance, that exercise that each of us are doing in the realm of two suns that is with us anywhere in all places might be serviced with a great level of clarity in a place where you have a great mirror. So now coming from the home city of Philadelphia, you know what I'm saying, which, you know, the city of the 215s, you know what I'm saying, area code 215, which is, if you look at the numbers 15 and then
Philly.
15, can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir. Shout out to Philly.
Yeah, when you see 215 or you measure it out as 215s, what you have is 1515, which as a word that will be ISIS, right? So we can look at this as a city of ISIS, and you can see the number 15 being reflected, right? When we look at the gematria for the name Tucson, interestingly enough, talking about it as a mirror, the number is 483, right? 8 plus 3 is 11, plus 4 is 15. There goes that 15 right there, right? 215s. ISIS, 1515 spells ISIS. So when we get the reflection, when we get the opportunity to be in a land of abundant sand, understanding the relationship between sand, glass, and mirrors, understanding that you can see the sky super clear in Arizona. But even for those of us that are getting into the conversation of remembering ourselves connected to the science of ancient Kemet, we understand and have the insights that this land of Arizona and northern Amexem, called Mexico, and that whole Grand Canyon, Nevada area, that is the Kemet part of this land. And so what's been discovered there? Lots of pyramids, monuments. There's an area there called the Black Hills. When you travel from between Tucson to Sedona, you go through an area called Black Hills. When you drive through there, you'll see a whole bunch of mountains that literally look like black pyramids. When you get to Sedona and in various parts of Arizona, but especially Sedona, you'll see monuments that look like temples, look like sphinxes. It's because they are. It's just they've been weathered over time. But those who have their ujat, their third eye open, you'll see these things in their consistent universal form beyond the current timeline. And of course, once again, who feels it knows it. So a big part of going back to this land and tapping into the cosmic mirror of it is to tap into your deep overstanding that will help you to see things with a fully capable universal third eye, right? So going back to the gematria, 483 is the number. What are some of the words that come along with the Tucson gematria? Star Atlas. Star Atlas. Those words, the word Star Atlas, 483. Use that as an instrument. Another word, astrologer, 483. As we know, many of our brothers and sisters that we work to share culture with that might not get the Dogon conversations and the 13 moon Mayan Olmec sidereal conversations, and they might not get the whole Giza pyramid alignment with the belt of Orion conversations. How we simplify that for them is help them understand that no culture that graduated into high spiritual alchemy, technology, and graduation into supreme mathematics got there without astronomy. Astronomy was necessary for graduation. That's why in the Keys of Enoch, they talk about just bearing your eyes in witness to the belt of Orion, the Orion constellation, and Sirius causes genetic transformation. Just right now, if you go outside, sit on the earth and look at the sky and witness Orion, just making that engagement with the celestial light in and of itself is causing genetic awakening and transformation. So once again, 483 gematria, Tucson matches up with astrologer as well. Now, ones like the three kings we got in here are gonna love this one. Guess which great African king of great riches name matches up to 483? Mansa Musa. 483. Same vibration, gematria mathematic as the name Tucson. Oh, you want to get metaphysical? You want to talk about serpentine fire? Another gematria word that matches Tucson on the 483, Abraxas. We ain't even gonna get into all that because that's a whole Baba Phil Valentine 8-hour science on the work of the serpentine fire and transformation of forces from the holy of holies in and beyond the underworld, going into the name Asar, meaning the extractor. But yes,
you gotta drop the dragoon science.
Yeah, we getting there.
All right.
You take it from there. There's one more though. There's one more I'm gonna give to the gematria thing before I swing it off, because we can go deep on this. I'm just bringing the parallels to the people who are tuned in with us to say, if you are a person that's dealing with supreme mathematics and you're overstanding the what they call the halls of Ma'ati, the graduation into the heaven on earth experience, this time that we're spending there and this place is a place for the work to be done, for our responsibility to bring about the heavenly mind to crystallize in the physical earth, and to make yourself stable on that parallel earth experience that comes along with you living the proper order of your divine dream. The last one I want to note for the Tucson Gematria 483 is Rothschild debt. The words Rothschild debt also match the 483. And with that being said, who are they really indebted to? Who do they really owe something? What is the golden city of Wahani? How would the crystallization of Black futurism or the Afrofuturism paradigm play out? What timeline was Earth, Wind, and Fire showing on the All in All album cover? Was it just the Temple of Abu Simbel in the past, or was it the golden Kemetic city of the future? And how do we play our part in that crystallization in this now? Ross Ben, you got it.
Yeah, the bombs is coming back. The bombs is coming back. Yeah. I wanted to say this, right? That what you just said, my brother, is a question that I want to pose to the audience tonight. Who amongst us tonight is ready to join a 4-week intensive, right? A 4-week intensive program where we're going to take information and create these quote unquote worlds out of our ideas, prompts, right? We're going to use AI, Midjourney, DALL-E 3, Leonardo. We're going to use Runway ML. We're going to use all of the tools that are available for AI filmmaking. And we're going to take all of these stories right here and animate it, bring it to life. Who wants to join their brother in this workshop where we are going to turn our ideas into a reality? Because I'm ready to go, you know.
Let's go.
That's right. I'm definitely ready to go. And just listening to you break that down, I'm like, look, we need to really make that a reality. Like, we don't live in the world anymore where we have to wait. We have to think. I wonder what that would look like. Man, I sure would love to see our people on the screen looking good. No, we don't got to do that no more. We don't got to dance for nobody. We don't got to do the casting couch. Why do you think Hollywood is literally on fire anymore? The Great Divine speaks through sign. It collapsed. They went on strike to stop the collapse and whatnot, but it literally collapsed and burnt. It's burning to the smithereens in Hollywood. Cat Williams lit it on fire. A few other people put flames to this thing. It literally has imploded. The technology has caught up and it democratized and it burnt Tinseltown. It burnt Tinseltown down, and it took the power out of the hands of gangsters, mobsters, bank. I'm talking about these are some forget forget the rumors or what people try to no. We're talking about literally mafia, gangster, murderous demonic groups of people in power who have been steering this. They've been controlling the subconsciousness or the three layers of man's mind through moving pictures, through the
Call it what
movie.
it is, Red. Call it what you call it, Ross Ben?
Yeah,
Bollywood.
Follywood,
Bollywood, bro.
big Follywood energy. So where we find ourselves, if we are all in the presently present, and we understand that there's a present, there's like an Amazon, there's a present in the presence, and it shows up on time like the Amazon package. And that's the fact that you could create the music that you want, right, without the middleman. You could create some of the visuals without the middleman. And when I say without the middleman, of course, there's an app that you're going to be using, but you literally have cut 10 people in the middle, and it's just you and a tool right now.
Mm,
They
mm.
you live you layer they've leveled and democratized a whole production studio to an app right now. Like it's in your hands. So Hollywood could not, you can't occupy two spaces at once. Two things can't occupy the same things at one time.
You can't
So
serve two
it
masters.
exactly, so it pancaked and it imploded because the new tools are on the scene. They're not going to tell you that. It's too many stocks tied to this thing. They're too busy trying to figure out what stocks they're gonna short before they pull the plug so they can get rich 3 times over. They're not gonna tell you that it already fell. But I'm here to let you know the shit has fell. It has fallen. So you're gonna see like 8-year-olds making movies now that are maybe gonna be better than the last movies that you've seen for the last 30 years type shit. Like that's where they taking it.
Right.
We
Eh,
if we miss this train, this plane, it's gonna be another tragedy.
So this is why we got to do this work, Red, because these gym shows, this is one of the original. This
Woo!
is one of the
I'm going
original,
to
and
charge up.
this is the ultimate cop and flip.
Yes,
You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? This is
Let's
the
get into the
ultimate cop and
story.
flip. Cop and flip.
Hey,
Bros, Ben, what we talking about? Cop and flip.
yeah, why don't you tell them? Because to be honest, the portal was open by Ross Naima Infinite Treasures. Why don't you chronicle that story, Bridget?
Yo, cop and flip. Cop and flip mean what? You buy low and you can sell high. And this is one of these markets that have been, like we've been out there 20 some odd years. I haven't been able to go out every year, but still
Mhm.
I work my local markets. Whenever the smaller gym shows come into the region, I know what it is. And I'm a jeweler, I'm a craftsman, so I'm always trying to get the best bang for the buck when it comes to forward investment. When I put some money out, yeah, I can go to the local gym and mineral shops, and the prices they put on it is 2 or 3 times over. They didn't pay for it, and 2 or 3 other people then had to make a profit off of it. Tucson Gym Show is the mother of all mothers of those of us who can take, who can find the portions of the great Mama Earth that come up and repurpose them in ways in which, yeah, you can turn up the volume on the value just because you got some ashe, you got some intention, you got some creative ideas woven into what you found as a raw potential. And honestly, you ain't even got to do that. You don't got to put no intention on it. If you just in position and you go onto these spots and knowing what you're looking at, I'm gonna give you one example, and I can't give you all the secrets because then y'all messing up my money. But everybody know what an arrowhead is, right? And obsidian arrowheads, you know, maybe you know what that is, maybe you don't know what it is. Typically, if I'm going to a rock shop local for me, I'm probably gonna pay about $10 or $15 per arrowhead. When you go to these shows, when you hit these major gym shows, Tucson particularly, these be the places where you can get a whole tray of arrowheads. It'd be maybe a couple hundred of them in there. And I can't even tell you the price. If you want to know what we pay, you need to come to the show. Invest, put some chips on the game. But they say put some skin in the game. See for
Tag me in, Ross.
and see what it is on the flip, you know? But I'm just saying, this is how we, as a small Black business, this is how we leverage the market, you know? And it ain't just one type of stone, it's with many of them. And it's a shame because the people that look like me and Ross Ben and Red Pill and Amun, we are the minority out there.
Super minority.
Every other nation of people on the planet is out there making the most of this cop and flip.
Yep.
We got every type of sneaker on our feet. We got every other type of fashion things. Them things decrease in value instantly. As soon as you put it on your body, you can't take it back to the store and get the same money. These gym shows. They call it real estate, Red. They call it real estate. What is real estate? It's the type of investment you make that's almost guaranteed.
Portable real estate.
It's portable real estate, man. Look, what happens when the old people die and their children come and get their stuff? They call it what? Their estate. They call it their estate stuff. Estate jewelry. And a lot of times you'll see this out at these shows. These folks selling this stuff like this was my grandfather, that's my grandmother's stuff. This is an estate sale. Estate is the word because these things don't decrease in value. They only increase as time goes on. You know, and so when we make ourselves available, when we make it a priority to put our chips in order, big up Amun for opening up these portals for these folks that don't really even know what you're creating for them, bruh. I commend you, man. I don't got the tolerance wait for people to put their money up so they can experience this thing, man. You know, I big you up, Amun. Big up. I big you up, Ross. Ross Ben did it for a time. Ross is like, yo, I'm done with that, man. I'm done. I can't keep putting myself out there because this is what you're doing. You're extending yourself to open up this portal to folks who are still riding the fence and they got some new Jordans on. They got a new phone. You know, they don't even recognize what's in front of them. We have to recognize what this is because, like I said before, it's generational wealth. It's generational wealth. You might go out to Tucson with a stack, $1,000. You might have 10 grand. And I'm telling you, I've gone out to Tucson and Denver, 10 stacks here and there. Man, I'm still riding on them 10 stacks. And I've made over a couple $100,000 off of each of those years. I went out there and dropped 10, you know, because I'm a craftsman. And because I go pick stones firsthand, I can get the maximum flip. Once I put my twist, once I put my wrap techniques on these things, then, yo, level up. So this is what we're offering y'all. And look, this don't make no sense.
So
Ross, go ahead, Ross.
How you was in Pittsburgh and got the Rocks of Ages, and you know how once we got in touch, how you just insisted on Tucson, and then even on when we made that first journey out there, like give your angle on all of that.
Ross should be regularly talking about your turtle shell. You know, you're a private man. I get it. I'm a private man too. And I think that's why we're as close as we are. Because as private as you are, we've had enough personal time together where, yeah, man, if and when I need some advice, I can call you, go and answer the phone, and you can give me some advice. You know, if I got an experience I need to share, you know, you'll answer the phone. We can share it. You know, when you've gone through some of your most challenging times, man, you reach out to your brother, and I'm your younger brother, but my heart and my mind is in it. So even if I don't got an answer, I'll contemplate long and hard, and maybe we can find an answer. So Tucson was like that. I'd heard about Tucson years before I even met you, Ross Ben, but I knew I would. I just wasn't. It wasn't in my nature to go out there alone. You know. So once we connected, um, that's what it was. It was a petition, like what you say. Even when I pitched it to you, it took us about a year to really line it up. You know. And I mean, with no disrespect, I have to put, man, look, when your father-in-law passed, he opened up the portal. You know, you act like you remember that. When your father-in-law passed, bruh, he opened up the portal.
But all right, so why were you so insistent? It was like, I guess that was the thing. It was like, from my angle, from the point we connected through the Rocks of Ages, you getting a copy of the Rocks of Ages in the earlies, right? It was like, we got to make this Tucson trial, and you were so insistent on it.
It's what I'm telling you, Ross, man, because my ancestors ride with me, and your ancestors ride with you. And this type of move we have to make, it can't just be just you and me here in the fleshical realm trying to battle with these cats. We have to have battalions of ancestors riding with us to pull this thing off. And ultimately, what we're working toward is redemption. It's a correction. It's a redirection of prophetic timelines, you know. And once I penetrated your work, bro, like you revealed so much to me that I didn't even understand about why I was doing what I was doing. And so much of it has to do with prophetic timelines, you know, and ancestries. I was well versed in my ancestry, but I like I say, it was a couple pieces missing in that puzzle that made it make sense. Like, yo, this is one of your key comrades. This is that dude. You check his work, and he's on it. He's already doing the work. He's already making a connection, intergenerational, interdimensional. You know. So yes, in order for us to make this quantitative leap, we need certain sacred relics from the earth. You know, like just like how they do in Black Panther, bro. Black Panther is Johnny Come Lately. We've been pulling this, whatever the iridium or whatever they call it in Black Panther. This is what we've been,
that shit.
Vibranium, baby.
Vibranium. Hey, yeah. we've been accessing the vibranium for 20 some odd years. Black Panther just came out 5 years ago, bro. We've been on this vision and this mission, like, yo, we have to connect with the earth elements in order to do what? Bring the ancestries back online. You know, we need to
say, like, just in terms of opening up portals and changing timeline trajectories, and yeah, this Tucson thing, it really ain't too much more like it in my life, you know.
Bro, your father-in-law checked out, and instantly he opened up the portal. Baba Curtis checked out, and he opened up the portal for Tucson, bro. You know what I'm saying? Nah, man, we can't separate one from the other. The two are connected. At least in the legacy of Infinite Treasures, because you know my grandfather, he checked out just a few weeks after Infinite Treasures was born, 1995. Infinite Treasures was consecrated in November, mid-November. 6 weeks later, my father's father checked out. You know, and I was at his funeral wondering why. I didn't really notice, man. Why do they have me sitting in the front row? And I started getting the voices in my head. I didn't know nothing about that. I didn't know what I thought it was my own voice. It was like, yeah, you don't know me, but I know you. And the way that I was, I couldn't really get real close. But best believe this, you're going to know me now. Yeah, so infinite treasures and my passion and my study and my insatiable thirst to know my ancestries, they're one and the same, bro. You can't separate one from the other.
That's true.
So when you're talking about the gym show, what is it then? If you put it in that perspective, we need to galvanize all these generations who have not had their due process. You know, those of us that know better, we need to bring what resources we have so we can galvanize our collective ancestral pools and they can come on our behalf because we're not going to produce the guns to counter these cats. We're not going to produce bombs to counter what they can do. They're death-dealing devices. But when we galvanize and organize our ancestors,
along with that spiritual technology, the tools of which we get at Tucson, yes, I.
when we synchronize and galvanize them too, game over. This is
Well,
why Tucson is so important.
let's get into that. Let me dig into that a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You know, you got me really vibing on it all, man. Let's consider that.
Mirage.
What's up?
Before you delve into that,
yes, sir.
Why don't you just reflect and recount our earliest moves in Tucson and portals that opened up, and then go on into what you was going to build on.
I just got to come into it organically to say, once again, we talking about this year's event for those who are in the region that want to come and check out the workshops, or people who want to travel from someplace else. There's accommodations available for a handful still, but generally we setting the vibe for you to understand the history beyond the exercise and all the different things that can be cultivated from it. When I first came out, man, I just knew that the space for some reason my face ain't on the screen. The space that we have to see our minds open up into a world different from a lot of the cities that we were raised in. And having physical space that feels like dream space, and having a guide like you, Ross, been on my first trip, the mood of it, before I even get into the things I saw, imagine you leaving your house to go across the country to a state you've never been to, a city you've never been to, but you feel this vibe and it's connected to enlightenment and the collections of crystals. My soundtrack, I made a tape called Sade Super Flavor. So my first trip to Tucson, I was listening to Sade a lot. And the mood of that whole atmosphere, the people I was meeting from Brazil, people I'm meeting from Peru, people I'm meeting from Namibia, people I'm meeting from Morocco, people I'm meeting from India, people I'm meeting from Tibet, people I'm meeting from Russia, people I'm meeting from Czech Republic, so forth and so on. When you come and experience this, you become a ambassador of your unique space to an international marketplace of a lot of independent people. People aren't necessarily representing their government when they come from where they come from. They're representing the energy of the land that they come from. And so your relationship with crystals is a physical vibration of the elemental substance that is actually the land. You know, when you're carrying around these pyrites from Peru, you're carrying Peru with you. So coming there with Ross Ben is a good brother. So Ross Ben is introducing me to people from Congo, people from everywhere. And for me, my mind was wide open to really go back to meditation and prayer and ask the spirit, you know, to just help me be still and absorb as much as I can from it. So my first trip started off just with that experience for me personally. Now, economically speaking, oh man, I found so many stones that I could work with so many ways and leverage our reality over the dollar. That's the cop and flip for real, for real. It's defining the higher value, that it's not that these pieces are worth so much, it's that you have to pay this much to get them from us. You see, and it's an establishment of our own economy, not economy, but econ, AKAN, econ. You know, our own economy, our West African spirit village that that encompasses this entire world. You know, and understanding now that it already manifested. It what I got from that experience, from that doorway into understanding international trade and exchange. And even for me as a student of the Elohim and dealing with a lot of the ancient sciences in that direction, having a guide like Ras Ben to deal on the Enochian story, the stories of Enoch, and many of the other stories that we get through Rastafari, you know what I'm saying, the Church of Lalibela, and the stories you told.
Yo,
Yo,
the brethren fell off.
Yeah, he dropped out.
there you
I
go.
see him.
Hey, he was rolling too, man. He coming back.
Am I here? Can y'all hear me?
He
Yes.
dropped out about 30 seconds ago.
I'm sorry about that, but just to tie it up, Ross Ben, you know, to take culture seriously from wherever you come from and walk into this space, pure in your heart and clear in your mind. Yeah, man. One thing's for sure, I knew I was coming back next year, and I've been consistent in coming for every year except 2 since 2004. So you know, the awakening for any person that's dealing with this crystal life, that's dealing with this question, what is the new economy? If dollars and digital images on your cell phone stop meaning shit, well, what has meaning and value amidst people that you can interact with and exchange with? And the thing about the crystals is that it truly is a connection on the as above and the so below. You know what I mean? The study of ancient temples and things of that nature, and our ability to understand how our work in the world of light and sound becomes your awakening in the new day. You are really awakening in the new day. But go ahead and do the exercise. Don't be lazy. Go ahead and spend time at the Pacific Ocean and in Sedona vortexes. Be as international and planetary as you can. And that's what I want to seal that up with. Ross Ben, this Tucson trip, the first time I came, it tapped me into the reality that I am a planetary being. And by the grace of Jah, since then, now I got people wearing my jewelry right now in Hong Kong. People are rocking my stuff right now in Nigeria. People are rocking my stuff right now in South Africa. I got people rocking my stuff in Abu Dhabi right now. I got people rocking my stuff in Sweden and Switzerland right now. So to see that extension from the first time I went into that vortex to how it's manifested in current day, I would say any person that is willing to graduate into planetary status could see this trip to Tucson as a window to remembering and activating yourself as a planetary being on a lot of practical levels, but also on a lot of personal magic and miraculous levels. So that's where I'm at with that. Work with your inner sun in the land of the sun.
Can you real quick, because you're gonna be assisting people to work with they in the sun that whole time out there in Arizona, right?
Yes, sir.
There's an
We have
actual schedule
workshops.
that we have. Yeah, we got a workshop.
Yeah, we
Real
got
quick, hold on, let
workshops.
me see.
We're doing chemical every morning session, every early day. We have a sunrise meditation, and we'd have sessions in self-mastery. That's all before we leave the crib to get into the marketplace. This is there's an intensive aspect to this because some people don't want to wake up with the sun. Well, ain't nobody gonna wake you up. You wake up if you want to wake up. But we getting in the zone. We're going to strengthen and clear ourselves and do as best as we can as people, some of us anyway, who had the audacity to refer to ourselves as gods or had the audacity to refer to ourselves as children of God. You know what I'm saying? We are lost children, as some might say. That's an audacious statement. What does it mean? You know what I mean? So we're going to go ahead and deal with greater definition on that.
Right. Let me go ahead and share this real quick to give people some insight as to what exactly we're talking about. Boom. So here, when you click on the link, you will be taken to this page right here, family. Okay. This is the Tucson, Arizona RSVP page. It is available for people who want to come as couples, or if you want to come as a single, because we have deals for both. We got indie and we got couples. This covers your room and board. This covers access to all events and workshops. You have an all access pass into into everything that we'll be doing and offering and whatnot. This does not cover your airfare. You know what I'm talking about? If you're gonna get down there, you just have to get down there. Prices right now are reasonable. Y'all can holler at me too if y'all need some help with some flights, because I do know some flight attendants. You feel me? Check this out. So on this page, you'll have all of the information about all of the speakers of this monumental event. Blue Pillar, Red Pillar, RAS Ben, Amun Netaru El. Okay. Then we have our whole committee will be introducing you. Then we also have our stores that you could check out. We have scheduled events. Thursday is the meet and greet at 8 p.m. Sunrise, we have planetary meditation with Temple of Soul. That's this good brother right here. All right. So every sunrise, 7 a.m., Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Then we have sessions with Self Mastery with Amun Netaru El. That is every rising from Friday to Monday at 8 a.m. Spiritual activations, spiritual exercises for the activation of the serpentine fire, powerful focus, and quantum awareness. That's every rising from Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday at 8 a.m. Then we go and have the guided tour through the International Rock and Gym Show Friday, Saturday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Okay, the tours begin promptly at 10 a.m. Then we have breath work with Ankara on Saturday at 8:30 a.m., strengthening the power of the physical vehicle through the power of intentional breathing. Then we're going to have on Sunday at 7 p.m. a dinner where all of us are going to be basically breaking bread and eating as one. Ross Ben's lectures on Friday, y'all. If you live in the Phoenix or the Tucson or the Arizona and you just want to come for the lecture, you could come for the lecture. You need more information? Awesome. I'm going to drop a link in the chat right now. If you just want to come for the lecture, come through just for the lecture and you will be welcome. You won't have to pay the same price. We have options on the RSVP page for people to just want to come and be a part of the workshop, or if you want a day pass.
Yeah, I was going to say also that I am very active on the gym show tours, and that you can get a day pass and just be with us at the gym show.
Yes.
And yeah.
So that's available on this website, crystalsunrising.rsvpify.com, like Shopify, rsvpify.com. This is where you'll be able to book yourself and you'll come and be a part of this monumental strong end that we have. You know what I'm talking about? Because this is one for the record books. As you can see, you're gonna be joined by some very intelligent veterans who've been doing this thing for a minute now. So you get experience. This ain't no first time around the block. This is tradition. We're inserting you or onboarding you into the tradition of a brotherhood that has been going strong for more than 20 years. So you get to meet the contacts, you get to link up with the network, you get to link up with the contacts, you get to link up with a lot of the quote unquote the people that our good brothers are plugged in with. All right.
Acacia Lewis, Acacia Lewis is going to be coming through too. So,
Acacia,
you know
Acacia,
what I'm saying?
yeah,
Acacia, right. When I tell you this sister is she's
Tapped
amazing.
in.
She's amazing. With the whole plant medicine conversation and just the level of universal awareness that she communicates through her experiences. She's a very brilliant person. So we got a nice pack of beautiful people just for the upgrade of our lives. Like when we simplify all of the things that people think are deep, this is just about us engaging in the things that upgrade our life. That's all.
Right.
It don't like, I don't know how deep people think it is or how it seemed because we're students and we research things. But I don't know if that makes things deep. It just makes us a little bit more attentive maybe. But this is about focus. This is about a group of people whose attention span is driven and we get results. And so the opportunity to come to this land at this time and investigate this opportunity, in particular with a group of people who gonna love on you. Like this gathering, like, yo, I didn't do this with the bullhorn like that. You know what I'm saying? This is graduating into other levels with it. This thing comes from a private space where we treat each other very well in a home vibe capacity. Next year it'll be much bigger. It'll be much bigger next year. But for those who want to tune in now, I would say that's gonna, and even just stay in communication with all your presenters. Stay in contact with Infinite Treasures. If you don't have Ross Ben's book, get up on it. Don't just be looking at this today and be like, "Oh yeah, I seen it." Nah, get the books. You know, Mystic
get
Philadelphia,
familiar with the work.
Dogon book. Get the books. You know, Red Pillar is talking about developing things through the cryptoverse that's connecting conversations like these. Let's go ahead and be ahead of the wave and understand that, you know, being aware of these international resources, getting in tune to people who got the land, that got the minds. It's highly relevant when you know where you can get $100,000 of rainbow obsidian. And you ain't even got the fly to get there. You might fly to El Paso or something and drive for 8 hours, but your ability to access these resources is a very big deal. It's the ancient future, as Wayne Chandler would say. It's the ancient future, and our practice makes the difference for us.
And a context meaning like, look, you got between Amun Mirage and Ras Ben and Ankara and Blue Pill, you got more than half a century of folks who've been beaten down this path and know the spots, know the connects. As an individual, the gym show is overwhelming. You know, Tucson is overwhelming. There's no way that one individual can touch every show in any kind of real reasonable time and be in a state of mind where, all right, you can even kind of compare and contrast prices. So what the real value of what those who choose to take advantage of this opportunity is that you got over a half a century of folks who've already beaten down these paths and already got certain connections. And at the end of the day, when we get through a day of shows, this is one of the biggest parts of the magic. We come together and we reflect on like, yo, you found Shungite? I got Shungite too. They had it over here for $20. Like, yo, man, they got it over here for $5. You know?
Real talk.
This is the real talk. Like, this is the real value of coming into this collective, because if you try to do it by yourself, it might take you 20 years to really find out the real sources. But because we come as a collective and we move together as a collective, and then at the end of each day, we come together when we breaking bread to reflect on like, yo, I was looking for this. Who got the best prices? We're taking notes. Don't spend that much money on lapis over there because my man over here got it for like bam, bam, bam. So this is the real bang for the buck. This is why it's worth every cent on your dollar, because once you get this stuff home, the flip is quantitatively greater. But if you try to do it by yourself, you could do it by yourself, but you can't cover as much ground. We work collectively, and this is why these brothers right here, look, it's cop and flip. Why would they put you onto their flip unless their heart is in a good place?
Alhamdulillah. Facts.
Right.
Why would they put you on to they flip unless it's like, yo, there's enough for everyone? And the way we get the biggest bang for the buck is through cooperation.
We putting them on our cop. We putting them on the source.
We need them. We need them because they're going to see things that we don't see.
But see, the thing too, like why it's like everyone wins, because see, the thing is too, we've connected over the decades
20 years, bro,
with people that own minds, you know, throughout the world, different things, right?
They know us by face when we roll up, bro. They know what it is.
Every year they smile. They smile ear to ear when they see us.
We roll up, trust me. Why? Because we roll up 4 and 5, 6 of us, ready to, you know, cash in, exchange, cop and flip.
Cop and flip, bro. Yeah.
When you come with numbers over time and build that relationship with people from the source, it's win-win. If it was just myself coming by myself every year, what's going to, you know, they might remember
out
year to year, but what's going to make them stand out? When they see me, they know I'm rolling with a group.
With a band of bright-eyed angels.
And they love it, you know?
Because the Asians are rolling as a collective, a buying group.
There
the
you
Indians are rolling as a buying group.
There
a
you
lot
go.
of the Eastern Europeans is rolling as a buying group.
Yeah.
All of them don't go up to the table to cash out. They send one representative, and that person holds all of their money, and he becomes the quote unquote go-to person. He's the one that builds a relationship. He goes to play golf because he represents thousands of people. So when they see that man, they face lights up because he's not gonna shop like the average person. People might hear that and be like, they may think that that's so far-fetched. I'm here to let you know they do that every night when men go out to the strip club. They do that every night when men and women go out for bottle service. They do that every night when people go and spend a 300% increase on bottles, on tables, on hookahs, and all of these things. They collectively pull their money together to go ahead and waste it. So, if they could do that at night, in the daytime, we could do the same thing. We could put $1,000 just to begin with. That's just the surface. That's just to get in inside of the investment fund, and then we agree we are going to go ahead and get all of the prophecy stones today. We are gonna go ahead and get all of the quote unquote opals, the rainbow
the Ethiopian opals. Yeah. That's how we rolled up on them.
We're gonna clean that up.
Yep.
And we're going to get invited to the quote unquote mines. That's what we're going on mission. It's almost like the Thomas Crown affair. Like we're going to play the game.
Right.
Interestingly enough, the Panamanian mines, right now the Panamanian people are kicking the Europeans out of the land for the copper mines right now.
That's right.
So our conversation is truly the revolutionary dialogue.
I'm gonna take it even further, Amon.
Go ahead.
There's 8 revolutions that took place in Africa last year. All 8 of them, the foundation of their revolt, it was mostly against the French.
Yep.
It was against those mines, the gold mines, copper, diamond, coltan. Yeah. So something is taking place where people are realizing the power of their natural resources in ways that they never did. And I'm here to I'm just here to second that motion to say, for those of us who've been campaigning over the years for the returning of the natural resources that were pillaged and taken out of the grounds in the Americas by people who are considered to be the settlers and the aliens and the mound gritters, we are in that cycle to whereas we're gonna still be here on this planet and we're gonna see mountains, mounds, and lands returned to the people who it rightfully belongs to. You see the exposure that they're doing to the European in the movie, the flowers, the killers of the flower moon, about the Osage tribe, right? They revealed that's an apocalypse. They revealed some shit in that movie about what these people did.
Yeah. And so who is the ones in this time that been to the Bembe, that been to the Nyabingi, that been to the baptism, you know what I'm saying? That been to all type of ritual and ceremony, that now is coming out and having a planetary elemental relationship while meeting the people from that land, and then going to spend time to meditate and center themselves at vortexes. Who is those peoples in that time?
Right.
And so we are manifestations of the Heru of our family. So big ups to y'all. Everybody, even the ones watching us right now, consider that you are the Heru. You are the Christ of your family. And that the work we're doing is Christ allization. This is Christ this is the Christ allization, the crystallization that is happening amongst us right now. It's just a lot of the footwork that happens on a planetary level. And so it's a powerful thing, man. And I give thanks that we can see it real all the way to things like finances, because some people don't understand nothing except how it comes down to finances. It's on us to raise them up and show that, the ability to know these interactions on a planetary level, just how we treat each other and interact can make the whole banking system moot. All we got to do is know what we're doing and continue to graduate fruitfully with a systematic generosity going, and everybody is going to do great. That takes maturity of the heart and the mind. A lot of people don't even know the resources to even organize the heart mind to even build your own economy, or as I say, economy. You know what I mean? So this work we're doing is planetary. It's got deep levels to it, but to be a part of the practice, man, that's leverage. That's leverage.
I was going to say too, another special thing about the TUSCON show, because it is, well, for a long time I heard it was the largest gem and mineral event in the world.
It's the oldest in America.
Yeah, I know it's the biggest in the Americas. I heard there is now a bigger show in China, right? But because of that, basically, like, let's say, you know how people be looking for exotic crystals, and like, they want a special crystal. If you can't find it in Tucson, you're not gonna find it nowhere, So you'll find real like rare and exotic stones, even to the degree, like, if you find them somewhere else, they're probably gonna be out of your price range. But if you get them in Tucson, like, if you can't find it nowhere else, you're gonna find it in Tucson, and it's probably gonna be in the price range. This is a meteorite, it's called a palisite meteorite. It's made of iron, nickel, and olivine peridot, right? And it's a hard to find meteorite. You ain't gonna find it everywhere. And then even if you do find it, the price that you're gonna find it at, probably you're not gonna be able to well, you're not going to feel good about the exchange. Where if something like this in Tucson, very reasonable, you know, and I just wanted to share that too.
And in Ross, and in Ross, 95% of the people don't know what it is that you just showed them. So this is the biggest value in this thing. Like the fact that people ain't got to spend 3 months worth of earnings just to get access to you, just to get access to a moon, to get access to Ankara, because y'all know what these things are, right? The fact that the folks actually have access to folks who have been trodden on this road many, many, many seasons and know what it is, because that's the bigger part of this thing of this gym show. There's so much out here, it overwhelms you. So how do you know what to go for, what to hold for, when to hold them, when to fold them, when to go ahead and pull the trigger on what it is that you need.
Right.
And that's
This is the real value in what a moon has been doing. This is the real value in what you have been doing, because we're students, you know, we're humble in our own right. And we realize that a big part of turning the table is empowering our folks with this information. Like, right, we're underrepresented at these shows. And even when we come to the shows, it's like folks don't know what they're looking at.
Right.
How do you know where to spend your money if you don't know what is what? So the real value in what y'all are doing is making yourself accessible. Because
and to tap in, yeah, go ahead. I was just say to tap in with exactly what you're saying, Ross. I'm just continuing your vibe, brethren. Like, this is for people who need to catch up to why any of this is relevant, right? Like, this whole world that we're experiencing really is a creation in the process of creation. When we dealing with these elements and things, it's real that there are simple things that we've been thinking about for years. Like, some people who are aware now that cell phones and Wi-Fi put signals and stuff in your house that can throw off your cellular system. Well, now you got some brothers saying, yo, you want to build a force field for your house? I can show you how to set up a dope force field for your whole house for way cheaper than others would, by making connections with them people. And then the other side of it is, when people come in your crib, they're like, man, your house is a museum. They're looking at the things you've collected, things you're going to pass down to your son, your daughter, your nephew, your house being the straight temple, your temple for real, built with a conversation that Red Pill initiates. You caught one night. And some people who was like, yo, you want to build a vibrational place of wellness by collecting elements from all over the planet while paying attention to how to properly conduct yourself in that space, so that every day you come outside, you see that the leverage for righteousness has increased that much more while you were practicing the services, along with certain international elemental partnerships, knowing how to use the instruments of the natural earth. You know what I'm saying? So man, it mega powerful experiences that are being offered in these journeys. And we just want to make sure that even though there are economic power in all types of social, the spiritual aspect of us doing better, being more complete, and us bringing this type of frequency back home with us.
Another
These journeys, the nervous system sings, the bones ring. When we do stuff like this and we get that resonance right, ooh, you bring that resonance everywhere you go.
Yeah.
So that wealth vibration is a big deal, from the inside out and the outside in.
Another thing the show allows us to do is connect with the miners and the earth keepers that are conscious about how they harvest the elements.
The sweet surrender.
You got, the sweet surrender is very important, because you got some, like we can use farming for example. You got some farmers, they don't care about the waterways near them or the land long term. They could use fertilizers and herbicides and insecticides and, pollute the land and the earth. They'll get abundant crops, but is that crop going to be really good for the people that eat it? And is it going to be good for the land? Well, it's the same way with crystals, right? You have some corporations that'll blow the top off a mountain and gouge out the minerals, pollute all the surrounding waterways, and keep it moving, right? Then you might have some ones who they're custodians of sacred vortexual land, and they know that. Why is the land vortexual? Because there's all these crystals up under it, right? And they harvest accordingly. Like as Naeem said, a sweet surrender. They harvest in a way that the integrity of the earth and the environment and the ecosystem that's right there isn't, thrown out of balance. So the gem show allows us, because you know how sometimes, I'm sure everybody can relate to this too. Sometimes you might see a crystal that looks like really eye appealing, right? Then you go to get it, but there's an energy on it that whatever that energy is, it's like, I can't fuck with it, And then more than likely, or a good reason, possible reason why, is again, the way it was harvested. Yeah. And what corporation or what entity brought that stone to the marketplace? Did they violate the earth in the process? And all that, crystals are like water, they got memory. So all that'll be on the stone, and even though it might be the stone, you research and say, this is for me. And then you look for it, you see one that looks good, but then it's like, the vibe ain't proper.
Spirit will tell you to get it somewhere else.
Right.
That's what's so wonderful about this marketplace, ain't it? That you'll turn your back on something that you really wanted and walk about a zigzag through the market and walk right back into the same stone better with a better energy and everything.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
And then even to be able to make relationship with minors who consciously move with the sweet surrender. Yeah. Distributors who consciously move with the sweet surrender. So what they call it, like they have a term for it, like in the food industry, But it's just being mindful of, we honor the earth.
And the human effect.
We don't want the earth raped and violated for us to get the treasures.
Make a flip. Right.
So because that energy ain't right.
Right.
So the show gives us the opportunity to meet the characters, bringing it out the earth and feel their spirit and build relationships with them. And then it translates too, because I could tell you, when I go to Tucson and like I make a big score from someone who's on that frequency, and then I come forward, sometimes I don't even clean my crystals. I don't put them in no Florida water or do nothing to change the vibe. I just put them out on the table. And man, they ultramagnetic because people feel that difference, So
yeah,
mention that.
Hey,
Yeah,
I got a question. Hey, Red Pill, man. No disrespect, but I think you probably the newest member to this crystal hunting scene, especially when it comes to Tucson. I think in
Yes, yes,
2022, I think you got your cherry pop, bro.
yes, yes,
And again,
yes.
I don't say that as a slight. I'm all seriousness. It's like, yo, I imagine you had time to think, man. What are you hunting for this time? What's your top five? What you looking for, Red?
It's a
Now
great
that you know what
question.
it is,
What you hunting for,
what you
Red? When
got
you
on
get
your
out
wish
there?
list, bro?
Yeah, let's talk about that.
I'm gravitating to the prophecy stone.
That's
You
my
know,
shot this
that's
year.
been
Prophecy Stones.
yeah. That's been the red opals. That's why I put the grill with the red opals, the
Uh,
red opals and the rainbow
you mean
opals.
fire opals? You mean the fire opals?
Yes, I'm looking for black opal though.
Okay,
It's
okay,
out there.
Yeah, yeah. I'm looking for that black opal. Um, you know, the prophecy stones has just really been taking a lot of my attention. I
You
mean,
ain't
over
got no
all
prophecy
things.
stones yet, Red? You ain't got no
No,
prophecy
no,
stones
no,
yet?
no. It's
I
not
got
that.
you, bro.
It's
I
the
got you.
vision that I've
I
been
got you.
having about what I want to do with them. Like
Uh,
I got this vision, and then I saw a piece of jewelry today that basically was showing me this is gonna be the new piece that we're
uh,
gonna go with. So it's a take on something that's a little popular right now, but I'm gonna flip it and we're gonna make it uniquely ours.
uh.
So that involves a lot of colorful stones, but they don't have to be super big though, if that's any indication.
See,
So
see.
now I'm looking for these colorful. They got these Cartier bracelets and these colorful ornaments that people are wearing in the form of like lab diamonds. Yeah.
Uh, Oh, you going deep, Red? Oh, snap.
Let's pass the ball though. Ross
But
Ben,
wait,
what you
that's
looking
only
for this
three.
year?
That's only three. What's your other two?
Okay,
What's your
my
last?
fault, my
What's your
fault.
last two in your
What's your
top
last
five,
two?
Red?
I didn't just get you. I didn't just hit y'all with the five. I
He
said
You
got
said
you done.
prophecy stones twice. You said prophecy
no,
stones
no, no.
twice.
I said the opals.
Black opal, right?
No,
Black
what
and red.
yeah, it's really the Ethiopian and the rainbow opals, the
Okay.
good quality ones, because I'm about to get the grill with that.
So that's
And
three.
right, and then we have this assortment of different flavors and whatnot based off of the design that I saw off of a piece that I want to replicate. So that's really like an assortment of different flavors and whatnot. Those are about 4 or 5 different colors.
Okay,
Mhm.
all right.
Yeah.
That's what's
Ross,
up.
what's your five, Ross?
My top five. Which Ross you talking to? Ross
Ross
Ben or
Ben,
Ross?
Right,
Ross Ben,
right.
Ross Ben.
What's
What's
your
your
top
five
I don't
this
five,
know
year?
if
Ross
I have
Ben?
five. I don't know if I have five, but I could tell you Prophecy Stone.
Ah,
It's the year. It's the year.
Uh,
There ain't
uh,
yeah, man. I'm telling you.
uh,
we
uh,
should
uh,
have
uh.
to be able, like, if someone them looking for something to get them on the right timeline in 2024,
Bra,
right? Do
bra,
that timeline ancestral healing. You need to have the prophecy stone to be able
bra.
to share.
Telling you.
So I'm ready to see if we can magnetize some of them,
Okay.
and then I like stones that impact environments and communities, right? So those are the celestial quartz and the Lemurian quartz. So I
Mm-hmm.
might not be getting these to like buy and sell,
Right.
more or less just getting, because the if I'm still in filthy, I need to armor up because they done stepped up. The geomancers done stepped up their game,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Yep.
And so I need to upgrade my scene, you know?
Right.
So that's what I'm feeling.
Okay. That's honorable.
That's
What
it.
about you, Ras
That's
Naeem?
two. That's two. Ross Ben, what else you got,
I
bro?
ain't really got 5. You know,
Okay. All right.
I ain't
All
got
right.
5. But now, if I see it, you know, double terminated quartz. If I could get some pounds of some double terminated quartz, there's more time when I'm crafting pendants. That's
Right.
what I like to, you know, that's my go-to crystal for everyday wearing. And thankfully, the last time I was out there, I scored a lot. So I still have some, right?
Right.
But if I see a good value on them, I'm definitely going to grab some double terminated quartz because you know the new technique I'm up on, the batteries included.
Hey,
So getting the
hey,
magnetized hematite beads, right?
Right.
And using 1 or 2 magnetized beads in your coiled copper wrap around double terminated quartz.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
batteries included.
batteries included,
Right.
you know? So as far as my, and now here I am with Naeem and Amun talking shit about wrapping crystals.
Right.
I don't, you know, I don't even feel right, but that is like the technique that I've and like the specific beyond the technique, the technology I've been building, you know. So if
Yes.
I'm going to the marketplace and I got my wire wraps on display, and out of 20 pendants, 15 of them are going to be double terminated quartz with batteries included, you know. So Tucson is the place that, you know, I might see a good value on those double terminated quartz.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what's up.
So that's 3. I don't, you know, but what I'll say too, though, because I even think I was talking to Red about this earlier off camera, how crystals have seasons, right?
Yeah.
So it'll be like you'll see a crystal at Tucson one year, and so many vendors, and so it's just at so many different shows. In your mind, you would think like, man, this crystal is it's just gonna be here forever,
Right.
you know. Then you come back the next year, and that thing is it ain't there. It's a wrap. You know, there's a whole nother crystal on the scene.
Right.
Right.
Right. They be moving each other out the way too.
Yeah, so you got to be open to what's there that year. You might not even be planning or calculating this is what I'm going to get. But then you get there and you see like, oh, that's what's here this year. Because every year there's something that hits the scene that's just like hot, like
hot and popping, bro. Something new.
Like, yeah, everyone's talking about it. You know, and see, this is why you got to watch out for it too, because someone will go to an off-brand show, a show that's off the beaten path, right?
Right. Right.
See what's hot and popping, buy that man out, or buy most of his thing, and then go to one of the
bring to the main strip. Yeah.
Shows where everybody, all the traffic is flowing, and mark that thing up 50%, 100%. You know, so if you took the time to hit the different shows before you made your score, you probably get a better value.
Right.
You know? And that's another thing you got to factor. But usually, though, if you want to know what's hot and popping that year, you do got to start with the main strip.
Right.
You know, you ain't gonna start with the off-beaten shows.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Right.
but every year there's something out that's just like them Prophecy Stones is new. You know, this year
That's a new wave.
it's a new wave. Like last 2 or 3 years,
Right. Right. Right.
you know, they done hit the scene. They knew, but how this is the time of prophecy.
It is right on time. It is right on time.
So it's just like bam, you know.
Right.
But I remember when African Spirit Quartz hit the scene, which was like
2004, our first year out there, bro. What you mean?
like it was gonna be the game changer for our community.
2004,
man.
yo. Spirit
Right.
Quartz hit the scene. It was like snap. Wasn't nobody up on that, bro. You brought Spirit Quartz into the East Coast.
It seemed like it was gonna be the game changer for our community because it's the crystal about oneness.
Right.
How we just all divided and
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Scattered. Shattered.
the Spirit Quartz seemed like they were going to be the rallying crystal for us around kind of what we're seeing today, but you know, we just had high expectations and we invested a lot in it them first and when it came out, it was everywhere in Tucson. All the vendors had them, reasonable prices. Seemed like the Spirit Quartz was going to be around forever. And we capped it up. Like, these is the ones. When we went back next year, they was gone. Them Jones was gone. It was like, even as much as we had invested in it that year, they were there. We lamented that we hadn't got more because we assumed it was going to be there, you know? So you got to catch what's hot that year because you don't know if it's going to be there next year, you know?
Yeah. It's so hard. Yeah, you don't know. You don't know. These stones got a mind of their own. You know what I mean? And like you said, that it's no coincidence that they sell themselves. They get themselves sold. They don't just sit around.
Nah.
You know, they got a mind of their own. They got energy. They're magnetic. You know, they're attracted. They pull themselves towards their host. And you'd be surprised how many people are in this business. There's literally what's known as the rock market, like how they have a stock market where they sell stocks. There's actually a rock market, but we don't know things like we don't know about those things.
Well, one thing I can say, they judge the calendar year economy. They forecast how the year started in January,
Yes.
chose the first 2 weeks of February. They judge what's going to happen with the economy for the rest of the year based on what happens at Tucson.
At the gym show, right.
So this the wholesale of wholesalers market. So it's an automatic gauge of what the retailers, number one,
Right.
what retailers, how their currency was the year prior, right?
Right.
And how much they want to put in and
Over.
see how that next calendar year is going to roll out.
Powerful.
Right? So that is you know, how the spending goes in Tucson is an economic gauge
of how the nation goes.
Wow.
For the rest of the nation. And because the reality is too, you don't eat rocks. So rocks are considered,
it's an investment.
It's considered disposable income.
It's not a commodity.
It's
portable real estate. Portable real
estate. So yeah, it is an investment, but it's not food, clothing, and shelter.
Right.
You know, so they would say it's disposable income.
Right. So if they spending money in February, that means that they got a little bit of extra to spend because they came out to drop a few bands on that disposable income, which is a long-term investment. So that's an indication of the health of the market.
Exactly. And it's also who is spending in February, because again, this is the wholesaler. So who is shopping in February at Tucson? All the stores.
Brick and mortar and stuff like that.
Brick and mortar. And even now for the online stores, you know, everyone is getting their stock for the year.
They know what it is. They know what it is.
You know.
They know what it is. Yeah.
So before we get out of here, fellas, I want to be able to take some a question or two from the audience. Is that okay?
Please.
Because we got people in the building.
Let me offer my top 5, and I can wait till after the questions and whatnot.
Please do.
I'll run through mine real quick, man. Prophecy Stones, I got it already, because that is the hot and popping. We in 2024. The time we in, what they're doing, they're manipulating space and time. So we have to be on the proper prophetic timeline. And I'm working these prophecy stones like nobody's business. So I'm trying to get as many of them as I can while we can, just like Ross said, because you don't know when we can't get them no more. Prophecy stones at the top of the list, for sure. What was my next one? The rubies. The rubies.
I was gonna say that too. That's crazy.
Yeah, the East Indian rubies, bro. The rubies, the polished blue kyanite. Same way. My man, I got a key brethren. I got a key elder. His name is Paradise Gray of the X Clan, aka the Godfather of hip hop, and he's put a commission in for a custom piece. So I'm looking for some real unique, distinct Herkimers for him, so I can seal up his thing. So it's that 3. Number 4, Mama, don't you got one? Mama Carla, number 4. Appetite. That Madagascar appetite, bro. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's so critical in these times, man. Folks going through all these emotional things, you know. So appetite is certainly on our list. And that's my quick. I didn't make it to 5, but I'm not gonna drag you out. But that's what we hunting for out there. We out there,
Yeah, Ramad said peace. He been reaching out to you all
brother,
night.
PGH, Pittsburgh, brother Ramaj.
Brother Ramaj is giving you the shout out. Yeah.
He one of the original supporters of Infinite Treasures from way back. What's up, brother Ramaj?
Yeah, he in the building. He said he's happy to see you up here.
Yeah.
And he's a living testament to your greatness. So salute.
I say. That's what's
We're gonna
up, brother
take some
Ramaj.
questions. Brother, maybe he has a question. Or maybe somebody on IG, maybe one of my Patreons. If anyone in the building has a question, please take this opportune time to prompt, these two masters right here, these intelligent, bodies of information. These are libraries. So take full advantage. We got a moon in the back. A moon, is your camera working? Because we was having issues with you a minute.
Hey, one more thing, Red.
Yes.
This is what I would say for everybody. We got this war going on in Ukraine. Shungite. Get all the shungite you can get, because it's only found in one place on the planet, and that's in Russia, the Shung province of Russia. So while we can get it, we need to get it. That actually should be number one, because access is everything. The shungite. Yeah, we need to get as much shungite as we can when we out in Tucson. So that's definitely at the top of my top 5 list. Get the shungite, whatever form, whatever kind you can get, because once this thing go down, the 5G is on us, man. Shungite is one of our most important defense mechanisms. So yeah, shungite.
So we got 2 questions. One is, when does the gym show start? That starts in the first week of February, and it lasts for about 3 weeks.
It actually starts the last couple days of January. It's gonna start in a few days.
Okay.
The first show will start.
And what it is too, it's really a showcase, meaning it's not just any one show.
It's multiple shows. Right.
20 to 30 shows.
Right, all at once.
Some start, and they all don't run 3 weeks. They all average about 2 weeks. And they have different start dates. But they'll run usually that Aquarian season. You know, a little bit after Aquarius begins, a little bit before, seal up a little bit before Aquarius ends.
So the other question that we have is, what kind of crystals should you garment yourself with in 2024? I believe that you did jump on that with the shungite, but if you have 2 or 3 other ones that you recommend, would you please share that?
Well, of course, the prophecy stones. Yeah, man. So that's what I'm rocking a lot.
Lepidolite.
Yes, which is the ore of lithium. How everyone's on the lithium batteries.
Yes.
Yeah, lepidolite is the ore of lithium.
I like that.
And why lepidolite, Ross? Because folks is out here losing their mind.
That is true. You also know one of the uses of lithium is used in allopathic medicine to treat schizophrenia and psychosis. But we know allopathic lithium is very hard on other organs of the body.
Right.
You can't take it internally.
Yeah. So if you wear lithium crystals, you're not ingesting it physically, so it's not impacting your or other organs.
Right.
But energetically, you're still integrating that lithium element.
Right.
And
impact on your nervous system.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's purple and pink. Lithium manifests in 2 spectrums. It's a very interesting element. Manifest in 2 spectrums, purple and pink. So that tells you what lithium does is it connects the mind and the heart. And we know sometimes when people are bipolar or schizophrenic, it's like their mind is operating disconnected from their heart, you know?
Right.
So that's what lithium does. And lepidolite, of course, because of the, again, with the lithium batteries.
Right.
Ore of lithium is becoming much more difficult and more expensive to acquire. So that's another crystal to invest in.
If you see it, get it, because it ain't expensive.
Get it. It ain't gonna be around long.
Right. It's not real expensive.
It's gonna be manipulated into a battery that's going to be used for a couple of years and then thrown into a trash
Furnace.
yeah. So get the crystal and be the custodian of it in its natural and sacred state, you know?
What stone carries the highest level of energy?
Well, shungite that RAS mentioned is considered a room temperature superconductor. So it can allow power frequencies and other currents, other frequencies of the electromagnetic spectrum to move through it with offering no resistance. So, you know, copper lets electricity move through it, but it offers some resistance, some ohmage, right? And that manifests as heat in the copper wire. Shungite lets current move through it, but offering no resistance.
Yikes.
So the same, like ohmage decreases amperage, right? So let's say you got a power frequency with a certain amount of amps and you run it through the copper. By the time it gets to whatever you want it to power, there's going to be a loss of amperage.
Right.
Because the copper provided resistance.
Broke it down.
Shungite, if you conducted that same thing through shungite, there'd be no loss of amperage.
It goes straight.
Same amount of energy you started with is the same amount of energy that's going to be delivered by the shungite. There's only one other crystal naturally occurring, and you know, like shungite, can do that at room temperature. And that crystal is called covellite. And that is a copper, sulfur, carbon based stone.
Melanin, Trinity, affinity.
Yeah.
What to deal with.
And that's what I say. We find that combination, copper, carbon, sulfur. We find that one other place in nature.
Melanin.
Melanin.
Melanin, Trinity, affinity, what you deal with.
Yeah, we know melanin is superconductive. So you would say covellite is like crystal melanin, you know? And
Covellite, you call it?
Covellite. Yeah. Because it's made of the same three primary elements that make up melanin.
Yes.
And they both display the highest degree of energy potential, which is room temperature superconductivity. Yeah, come on now. So I would say if there is a real, what's that thing called in the Black Panther?
Vibranium.
Vibranium.
Real vibranium.
Covellite.
It would be shungite and covellite because of them two. These are two room temperature superconductors, you know.
And getting back to that resonance conversation, when we think about best crystal, when we get to the resonance conversation, we got to ask ourselves, what are we really asking? If the average person rolls up and says, what's the best crystal? I'm like, which instrument is going to work to a resonance that's going to bring you a certain type of homeostasis with your atmosphere? Is that what you're asking me? And then you get to understanding not only which stones are ringing right now, but also what stones might be more attuned to ringing with you. And so even some of the readings that we facilitate, because stones have affinities, you know what I mean? So when people ask what's best, it's like, well, that's something that's best. What Ross Ben mentioned earlier with the magnetic hematite and the clear quartz, anybody could do right for themselves by having a nice balance. Like copper, magnetic hematite in general, lodestone included, or even healer's gold, right? Which is a pyrite and lodestone infused. That's a stone that I'm always looking for, by the way. I didn't say my 5, but if I had
Hey,
to
I'm
bring
about to
one,
say, Amu, come on, man, set it straight, bro. What's your
it's
top
all
5,
good. I'm just
bro?
letting it all
What's
go.
your
But I
top 5,
realized
Amu?
that all that time I wasn't on the screen. My screen said I was. I needed my queen to go ahead and tell me, yo, your joint is just going around in circles. So
Yeah.
internet was
What's
playing
your
mind
top 5,
games.
Amu?
Top
What's your
5.
top
Healer's
5, King?
gold. Healer's gold. I gotta start with.
Uh,
For me. Because healer's gold is just so many
that's that
people.
pyrite and manganese combination, right?
Yes, magnesite. That you got it. That magnetite, you know what I mean, and pyrite, but it's also hematite. It's just a beautiful thing. Another one, rainbow obsidian, man. I'm rocking with my Mexican folks, man. I'm dealing with all this Olmec conversation. You know, my name is the name of the black sun. I might as well go ahead through the black rainbow. You know what I'm saying? So rainbow obsidian is a wonderful thing for me. It's like the taste of black ether as a form of music embedded in a crystal. That's what I get from rainbow obsidian, but don't get me talking. Another stone, I have to go with the moldavite this year, man, because we know one of the miners out of the Czech Republic and one of them other lands out there who owns the land that the meteorite crashed on. You know what I'm saying? And he told us about how much moldavite in that market in Tucson, but all over the world is fake. It ain't real moldavite. My man, he live on the land with the moldavite.
Hey, you got to clarify to the people that maybe don't know what moldavite is, man. Identify what it is. It ain't even of this world. Communicate what it is.
Moldavite, for those of y'all who still with us or who just pay full attention, is meteoric obsidian, i.e., a form of plasma glass. It's obsidian is glass. Obsidian is glass caused by volcanic lava, causing transformation and crystallization in the elements of the earth, and it turns it into stone, right? So this meteorite that crashed, the impact of the meteorite transformed the elements of the earth and merged the elements of itself with the earth at the same time to form formative liquid rock.
Yeah.
But that
it
formative liquid,
it hit the earth in the form of a green vapor.
Thank you.
And then merged with the earth. Yes.
Yeah.
Damn.
Like
that.
Yeah, or plasma vapor. Yeah, it higher dimensional forces interacting with 3D and cause it, you know. But yeah, so green. That's what I'm looking for. Moldavite. There's real moldavite. There's real moldavite that ain't. But for people who have moldavite experiences, they'll tell you that moldavite is a fun crystal. It will really show you that it's from somewhere else. And yeah, it's effective like that. So I'm looking for some real moldavite.
Number 5.
Okay, number 5. This year, I mean, every year. Pyrite, just straight up good pyrite. Just straight up good pyrite. You know what I mean? But meteorites across the whole board, moldavite included. But pyrite, we are in a Heru time. We are in the time of Christ consciousness. A lot of people, malachite too, but dealing with the order between the heart chakra and the solar plexus. To know that you are a radiant being for the Most High, but then get to it, do it. Burn, baby, burn. The word pyrite means firestone. So let's go ahead and blaze this fire, and get it popping where people aren't consumed with earth fire, but are dealing with celestial fire. Understand that you are more than just fire of the earth. You are the fire of the cosmos, and pyrite helps you to tap that in.
Hey, I just have to say, like with all these things that popped up on our top 5s, each of us, this is where the value comes in and coming in as a collective, because we got sources on prophecy stones. We got sources on pyrite. We got sources on the shungite. we know where to get all this stuff.
All that.
So if you a newcomer coming in, it might take you a whole day, 2-3 days just to orient yourself to who got what.
Yeah.
But you got veterans. This is the real value
very
of
easy.
coming in as part of this collective, because we've been doing this for almost a half a century collectively, and we know where to get this stuff, and we know who got the best bang for your buck.
Because that's right.
You know,
it's very easy to just fall into Tucson, see something that what looks like a good value,
Right.
but then that person literally just went a little bit off the beaten path.
Yeah.
Got that, came to the popping market,
turned up the volume on the price.
Yeah, put 50, 70% on it, and
beating you upside the head. Call it what it is. You get beat upside your head.
Yeah.
And you came all the way to Tucson. You came all the way to Tucson, and you're still getting beat upside your head. So this is why we have to deal with this thing collectively, because this is what I encourage the folks that come through. Don't spend no money the first day.
Nah.
Walk around and take notes.
Nah.
And then at the end of the day, we sprawled out like a organized system. And when we come back together, we got notes. I found Shungite. You found Shungite. We can compare the numbers. We can compare the prices. So by the time the second day, third day, boom, we're moving like a collective force on a collective mission to not get duped.
Because the reality is, first day, you do got to start on the main strip. Like I say, just so you even know what's out.
Right. What to come back to. Right.
What's popping.
Yeah.
And then you go to the offbeat shows.
Right.
And more than likely, we've already built relationships with
most of these cats.
Yeah, who got the hot and popping thing, you know?
Well, you know, red pill, RAS Ben, you know what I'm saying? Blue pill too. A lot of people meet us out there and be like, you know, I know who you are, because the work that's being done in this crystal, which is these screens we're looking at right now.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The work we're doing in this crystal right here is getting around. So the good news also is that to be able to go there and maybe bump into a Ralph Smart, you know what I'm saying? And or bump into a Astarius Miraculi.
Right.
You know, you never know. You might bump into Aquarius Maximus in the marketplace, or, you know, people come out for this, and everybody can't be there for the whole 2 weeks. We're not even going to be there for the whole 2 weeks. But yeah, this is also a summit of many types of advanced people in these crystal markets and crystal studies.
True.
You know what I mean? So
it's
you
convergence.
Right.
Facts.
So fellas, we knocking on the 3-hour door, and
yes,
you know, we like to return into a pumpkin after 3 hours. So I want you guys to let everybody know where they could find you at on the socials, so everyone could connect, because a lot of people are meeting everyone on the stage for the first time tonight. So let everybody know where you could be found, and we will see those of you who decide to join us in Arizona. And I do want to end it with the clarity that if you live in Arizona, you do not have to pay the full ticket for you know, participation. You will just pay
44 is 44 per, 88 for the day. Get in how you fit in.
Yeah, and a lot of people in Southern Cali can make a day trip too.
Right.
That's
Day trip in Southern Cali.
Vegas. Yeah.
Get done.
Yeah, you can make them day trips.
Come through. So I'm gonna give you the Temple of Soul Instagram, Temple of SOL on Instagram, Temple of SOL website, Zodiank, ZODIANKH, Zodiank.com. Plug in, you can get information about this and other retreats coming up in days to come. Look forward to seeing y'all in Arizona.
I am the one and only Rastaman Naya, Ras Naeem of Infinite Treasures. www.infinite-treasures LLC. www.infinite-treasures LLC on IG. Yo, this is where we specialize in creating these tools and jewels designed to enhance connections with the heavens and the earth. We say heavens and the earth, talking about ancestries and the alchemy reality, the imagination in 3 dimensions. What we're building is for us to bust the seals, upon them, turn the table upon them. Yeah, turn the table upon them in this time, real time. So, yo, we hope to see you out in Tucson. Infinite Treasures, www.infinite-treasures LLC. You can find all of what we've been doing for the past quarter century plus to get the people ready for the awakening.
Yes, I appreciate you. Brother Ross.
RASBen.com, one-stop shop.
That's
stay on my Nebuchadnezzar, right?
That's right.
So I don't jump in the matrix of IG and Facebook, that FBI.
Yes. You leave that up to us.
Yeah, I leave that to
the rambunctious ones. The rambunctious.
Come on, man. Get it right, Ross Ben. You are the author of the one and only Rocks of Ages.
Rock of the
You're the
Ages,
author
baby.
of the Great Mystery Philadelphia. You're the author of the Free Your Mind, Your Mind Will Follow. You know, you're the author of the Knowledge at a No Mo. Come on, King.
Come on,
Set it straight.
You already know, boy.
Wellness 101.
That's our big brother right there.
Come on, man. You the scribe. You the mystic scribe. You the prophetic revealer.
Right. That's
yeah, come on, man. Come on,
Lively
get
up
it
yourself,
right, bro.
Hey,
I know it's late. I know it's late, bro. But come on, man. Get it right, bro.
I'm just a small instrument playing my part in the orchestra of life, you know? And I'm glad you're in this synchrophonic music mystery with me, you know?
I say. Hey, you the elder of this committee, so you got the right to be as laid back as you want to be, big brother.
That's right.
I'm studying. I'm learning.
You know what it is.
Yeah.
Red Pill. I commend you, brother, man. Thank you for creating these opportunities for us, man, because the people need it, you know? All of us is humble. Like, we've been doing this for a long time without these platforms, man. But for you to create this for us is a big deal, Red. So
open
we commend you, brother.
The gateway.
Yeah, we commend you, brother. And look, this is your second time around. First time around, you was like, you kind of starry-eyed out at the gym show, bro.
I mean, you know, that was my first time now, soaking it all up. You know
how can you not be?
Yeah, I was soaking it all up.
All of us, you ain't the first one, man. We all got that way first time, but next time, we call it strategize. You know?
Right.
Yes, right. Yeah, next time around, it's going to be much sharper, no question.
Strategize. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Because your leverage, your influence, bruh, this is what the people need. They need this access to the real deal cop and flip, and it's legit. You can do it right in front of their face.
But now,
you know?
Now,
come on, man. The weed man ain't got nothing on the I&I. The weed man's flip ain't got nothing on I&I, and I can do it right in front of Babylon face.
Yeah, boo.
I'm going to close this reasoning in 2024, though, at least my part. I'm blocking an important sound. Because I feel like this may be one of the last years. It's going to be all about Tucson.
Mm-hmm.
Because, all right, Tucson is the largest show in the country, right?
Right. Yes.
Second largest is Denver. Where's the third largest?
Franklin, North Carolina.
Franklin, North Carolina. Now, let me say this. We done seen a big trend where those are what you would say conscious community that at one time were anchored in the Northeast. We started going to Tucson. right? You would say the conscious community was anchored in the Northeast, primarily New York,
Right.
right? You've seen the shift that now them AT aliens, them
Transplants.
yeah,
Mound
like
builders.
Atlanta is now the hub of the conscious community, you know? Not so much that it's still not a nationwide experience,
Right.
but Atlanta has become that anchor, right?
Yeah. I can say
I
that.
mean, you
The
down
new
there.
Harlem.
When we first went to Tucson, you lived in Pittsburgh. Now you in South Carolina. You down there now. You in Atlanta.
Yep.
So
Yep.
why are we going all the way across the country for the largest gym show when the third largest is right in our back door? I don't,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like
And there's two of them, Ross. We
it's
get one in late May, and we get one in the middle week of July. The last weekend, that Memorial weekend in May, two Franklin Pops, and then the first 2 weeks in July, Franklin Pops again.
and a whole nother thing with it. It's on a mound.
Mm.
It's on a mound
Mm.
that it's like, how sometimes you got to go and search out the mound and find its name, historic relevance. You ain't got to do that with the Franklin Mound. Why?
Mm.
Because there was a battle there, right? And them say the Immortier, the dwarves, came out of the mound aligned with the indigenous of that land to win the battle.
Mm.
This thing is on historic record,
Mm.
right?
Mm. Mm. Mm.
So, when I factor in how Free Your Mound and the pillars, like, y'all add so much depth and dimension to when that book came out. You added community to a book, you know? You made it more than just a book. You made it a community experience. We got a huge gym show on a crazy mystic mound
East of the Mississippi.
right in our backyard.
Right.
East of the Mississippi.
Some other things are going on at the Tucson that we got to meditate on.
Yep.
Just in terms as far as the our economics.
Yes, sir.
Because one of the things I observed over the decades is our presence in Tucson definitely increased.
Mm.
And a big part of it was the African Art Village.
Mm.
This sister named Mama Charlotte founded, but was also grown by one of our elders, Allah Sawi.
Allah Sawi.
Right? And so in the earlies, the art village, they had put it on the other side of this highway.
Far end of it.
Far end of this other side of this highway, right? Because they thought people weren't going to cross the highway to get there. But the African art village was so hot and popping over the years, they just created a whole other marketplace within the Tucson showcase, right?
Yep.
So what happened? They bumped them out of there to another location, right? Which they have been maybe the last 4 or 5 years. And
we just got that call today.
This spot, yeah, my elder called and told me this today. Okay. So this other spot was like this dusty lot that was next to the parking lot. It was in the flow. It was in the flow of the strip, but it was like where a parking lot was, and like kind of off the beaten path, right? But the marketplace, it just started, it was popping from when it, opened at this next location. It was just popping, right? So what happened this year? They bumped them from that spot.
What? They're not at that spot no more?
No, they bumped them and they put them. It's near that same location where they had bumped the second place they had bumped them to.
Yeah.
But off the beaten path.
Oh,
behind a whole nother. It's like if you're on the strip, if you're walking the strip, you won't be able to see.
Oh, that's horrible.
The African Art Village no more. So our elder, Allah Alasawi, he's not even going to do it this year.
What?
Which means more than likely, he's not going to do it ever again. It's like this is the end of it this year,
Epic. He been out there when we did our first year. He was already doing it. He was the first dude that received us when we came out there in 2004. When the African Village was way down there at the end of the strip near the Motel 6. And Allah was there, man, consistently doing it. And man, they squeezing out the elders, they're squeezing out the old time,
They're squeezing.
So when I see that,
I don't like that shit.
At the same time, I see a critical mass of our community has recentered themselves in the Southeast. And then the third largest show in the nation is right there on a mound, which is a whole nother rabbit hole we've been going down. It all adds up. How 24 seems like such a pivotal year.
Yeah.
25, we might be converging collectively. Or even 24. Shit. July. I got the vision that us that are on this show right now, we need to make it a point to be at Franklin in May. So we can see
I'm
it
there.
and vision it.
Right.
And then line up to bring the community out there for some mound earthworks.
Yeah.
Charged up with the crystals we just got at the Franklin show in July.
That's a big deal. I was able to do the Franklin about 2 or 3 years ago, and it really is a big deal because most of the major hitters that hit Tucson and Franklin and Denver, they're in Franklin. You know what I'm saying? And it's for I coming from Columbia, South Carolina. That's only about a 3.5-hour ride. So yeah, it's certainly something that we have to.
There's a bridge too, just on the strength of this word sound, Franklin. The name Franklin means Freeman. The Franklin, the position of a Franklin in masonry is very connected to the master who understands the angles that are in the blueprint.
Wow.
I repeat, the master who understands the angles that are in the blueprint. That person is the Franklin. The Rocky Mountains trail off down into Mexico. The name of the mountains that go down just as they exit what is called the U.S. into Mexico, as the Rocky Mountains dwindle out, is called the Franklin Hills or the Franklin Mountains. So even when we're talking about the word sound power of Mystic Philadelphia, Ben Franklin, and then Franklin in North Carolina, and then the Franklin Hills, we are the original freemen. Those Moors who weren't caught up in Britain's politics either. You see, in the foundations of this country, there was politics on everybody. There was politics on certain Africans, politics on certain people who came from what we presently call the Caribbean, the West Indies. There was politics on the Europeans too. There was one pack of those who was Africans that had knowledge of high technology, that had remembrance of the Grand Lodge of Ma'at, right? The notes that came from the other parts of North Africa was a part of their studies. They understood the ups and downs of their own culture too. They knew that everything that was done by certain orders of people who went by the same name wasn't necessarily initiates of mystic shrines. They weren't necessarily Sufis, but they still had the same last name.
Amun, Red ain't never gonna let us on the show again, man. We gonna be on here all night.
Right.
Bro.
I'm done. Good night.
Red ain't never gonna let us back on the show, bro. I don't know if he know what he signed up for, man.
I said I'm gonna take the garbage out. Feed the fishes and whatnot.
The Holy Ghost.
I'm gonna come back. Yeah, we in the man cave. I'm gonna come back and check on y'all.
Hey, no, but man.
If y'all like what y'all heard tonight, just picture us on the grid out there in AZ. Somebody asked us what the food is gonna be about. We're gonna have some good food in the building. You always
Marina is cooking.
All right, you already. Yeah, we gonna eat good every day.
They're not ready.
Yeah, man. If you gotta ask, then you probably don't have to come, because if you even have to inquire and you don't know what it feels like to be around Voltron when Voltron forms, then I don't know what to tell you. But when the gods come together, magical things happen. And the same thing with the goddesses, no difference. So salute to everybody who collectively and selectively puts themselves in this ionosphere and selects to have this experience, in their life. You can only have it one time. So salute to whoever I get to meet in Arizona next week. And with that being said,
to you, brother Red, salute to you, brother, because you know you got a whole lot of other things you could be doing with your space and your time and your platform, brother. The fact that you create the space for us to put this out for the people, man, big up.
Important. Yeah, that's important.
Big up,
man.
Red. Big up, Red. Yeah, we don't take it for granted, brother.
Appreciate you. So there's links in the bio. There's links in the bio that would take you to the RSVP for the Arizona event. Like I said, we are offering spaces for couples and for singles. And if you also live in the area and you just come in for the workshop or the events, you could get that too. So I will see you in AZ. Love and light to the family. Real quick, let me play the commercial for it before we get out of here.
Hey, get your list. All of y'all who are on the call, like I got to call my list out. Ross got to call this. Ramon got to get your list before you come to Tucson, because if not, you might get spun out. Get spun out.
We'll buy some stones for you. You can contact us. We'll buy some stuff for you.
Get your list. Get your list so you don't get spun out.
That part. All right, family. This is Breathless off of that Holy Ghost featuring Red Blue Cambada. All right. Love and light, y'all. Peace.
Crushing the socials, rushing through Ukraine, touching the locals. Quasi-Kodo, touching the coastals. Ethiopia, touching the opals. And quasi-nobles, kissing the ring. You niggas is Google, I'm ChatGPT, mixed with a Bing. Lift every voice without lifting a thing. The baby was born with the gift of sing. I'm the less Elon, straight out of Pelon. Victory lapping, watching history happen, mystery cracking. It's the elitists attacking the fetus. They packing the seats up, cracking like C for C. They say it won't happen again, like Gay getting back with Adidas. He back.
No, we had to pull that back. No, we had to pull that back. Let's go.
Crushing the socials, rushing through Ukraine, touching the locals. Quasi-Kodo, touching the coastals. Ethiopia, touching the opals. And quasi-nobles, kissing the ring. You niggas is Google, I'm ChatGPT, mixed with a Bing. Lift every voice without lifting a thing. The baby was born with the gift of sing. I'm the less Elon, straight out of Pelon. Victory lapping, watching history happen, mystery cracking. It's the elitists attacking the fetus. They packing the seats up, cracking like C for C. They say it won't happen again, like Gay getting back with Adidas. He back with the heaters, back in the sweepers, so black like a back of fajitas. Used to get stacks for the features, now niggas they pay us with straps on the back of their sneakers just to come slack with the teachers. We made them a promise and made us some comments. They paid us some. Red pillar.
You gotta bring the sound effects back for this boy. I need them bombs back. Hold on.
Crushing the socials, rushing through Ukraine, touching the locals. Quasi-Kodo, touching the coastals. Ethiopia, touching the opals. And quasi-nobles, kissing the ring. You niggas is Google, I'm ChatGPT, mixed with a Bing. Lift every voice without lifting a thing. The baby was born with the gift of sing. I'm the less Elon, straight out of Pelon. Victory lapping, watching history happen, mystery cracking. It's the elitists attacking the fetus. They packing the seats up, cracking like C for C. They say it won't happen again, like Gay getting back with Adidas. He back with the heaters, back in the sweepers, so black like a back of fajitas. Used to get stacks for the features, now niggas they pay us with straps on the back of their sneakers just to come slack with the teachers. We made them a promise and made us some comments. They paid us some homage. We married the game and they gave us Madonna. No maiden, no honor. Rebuking the priesthood like Sinead O'Connor. If I take the breath, God give you the breathe. And remove the air from the wind and the breeze. Superman to turn to Christopher Reeve. I injured his knee. Train the blood you got in you that bleeds. Chop the tree of knowledge down and pick up the leaves. Superman to turn to Christopher Reeve. I injured his knee. As I mumble on Pro Tools. Spaceship I could hover and cloak to. I abducted and probe you. Fly till I got the tongue of a toad too. On the rumble with Goku. You wasn't even close. I thought somebody told you. I'd be munching on gold shrooms till I grow you. Like I jumped on a toadstool. Mirror, mirror, mirror on the wall. I'm hearing I'm the fairest of them all. I clearly am a pharaoh and a god. There is no comparing me to y'all. Repeat a mantra manifesting wealth. So me and all my family have held. Destroy the world and build it back better. My mind, I build a planet by myself. Unbelievable. I'm achieving the unachievable. I'm conceiving the unconceivable. All the demons I summon speak Hebrew. We play peekaboo. Unpredictable. Unexplainable. Inexplicable. Undefinable. Undescriptable. Underrated. Unequivocal. Unforgivable. Feeling like I become invisible. Underground like the mud and mineral. Industry is so fucking pitiful. Only signing the thugs and criminal. Honestly, I would love to kill a few. Treat around like a blood and crip would do. Get in school, I would punch the principal. Treat the system like what would Hitler do? If I take the breath, God give you the breathe. And remove the air from the wind and the breeze. Superman to turn to Christopher Reeve. I injured his knee. Train the blood you got in you that bleeds. Chop the tree of knowledge down and pick up the leaves. Superman to turn to Christopher Reeve. I injured his knee.
Dodge in the rainstorms, gotta be chained on, frozen like brain freeze. Golden like 18, swollen like 18. From the borough where they take green. Shit, we throw in the mainstreams. Leaving niggas stiffing in state greens. Look, got sweeter than pastries, cheaping on lace squeeze. Got a nigga face ski. Say cheese, had to rub it in like grapeseed. Pillar bleed blue like Grape Street. Spitting over rape beats, slipping off her waist beats. I got the gas, baked beans. God is a nap that can make memes. God in an app, make cream. I got it in the bag, rake leaves. I did dirt since my late teens. Now it's a must that we stay clean. Established trust, stay cream. Added up with no late fees. Mad as fuck when you waste cream. It's adding up through the late fees. Mars attack, that's a space beast. Mars attack like a hate speech. Mars intact like we make drinks. Mars is back like a lace string. Look, roll up some trees, we can pour up some tea. Flow like a CD, you know that it's me. Pablo appearing on Holy Ghost 3. Though it's a beat, we go bon appetit. A home, I'm a beast on the road, I'm a freak. You don't vote, we don't speak, that's the code of the street.
If I take the breath,